All right. I think we are live.
That's my
You-
understanding.
Your understanding. Okay. I think we are live. Welcome, everyone. I think we have people hopping in. We
We
can
do.
see that in the chat as well. But again, we're so thankful that you guys are with us tonight. I know maybe some of y'all aren't used to having to stay on for 2 hours, but we are excited that you are here with us, regardless of that. We're going to talk about our network here in a little bit, but again, we're just excited. I know we tried to do this last year, and just due to some unfortunate circumstances, we had to cancel our live. We did not intend, I think, to go an entire year
Right.
before doing this, but here we are. Life happens, things get in the way, I suppose, but we're grateful for the opportunity to be here today. I think we still have people hopping in the chat, but again, we're grateful to be here. We do want to say this: if this is going to be a very interactive episode, we have a lot of, I guess, quote unquote, fun stuff that we want to cover in this particular episode. So feel free to put in comments and questions, anything like that. We're going to talk about our network here in just a little bit, and we want to answer any questions that anyone might have about the network. So if you can just put all those things in the chat, and we will try to get to those as quickly as possible. But before we do that, we do want to bring in Jonathan Jenkins back on to talk about digital Bible study, because it is he and Eric who have allowed us this opportunity to use their platform and to go through them and partner with them. So, Jonathan, thank you so much for letting us do this tonight.
Hey, glad to do it. Just always have been encouraged and impressed by the work y'all have been doing, and we've done some things in the past. Obviously, we've had you and Michael on quite a bit with us. I'm not sure we've had Jonathan, and maybe I should know the name of the fourth person out there, but I don't.
Derek.
Derek.
Noble, yeah.
But maybe we should get them on too at some point. But yeah, thank y'all for having me for a few minutes here, and I really appreciate the work y'all are doing over there at Scattered Abroad, man. Great job.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's awesome to be able to work with other Brotherhood Works who are doing great things for the kingdom, and I know y'all have made such an impact on the church and hopefully on just the community and the world ever since really, I guess, COVID started. This y'all kind of took off from there, but it's great to see that y'all have continued this wasn't something that y'all quit, whenever everything kind of opened back up. So talk a little bit about, I guess, kind of where you came from. And I know most of the people here listening right now will probably know everything about y'all, but this is being recorded on our end, and this is going to go up as a podcast. So hopefully our audience, perhaps at a later date, will be able to watch this and listen to this and see this. So hopefully Jonathan wasn't recording until just now, so we are now recording on our end.
But we'll pull the big feet down.
But we just want to go ahead and let you take the floor, man. Talk about kind of what sparked the idea, and kind of go from there, kind of stuff that y'all are doing.
Well, real quick, digital Bible study. We actually started it back in about 2006, 7, somewhere in that range, out of my basement when Eric and I were working together in Georgia. Kind of an idea I had to do some online streaming. Had a little bit of a coding background, created a persistent stream. I released a media server, which you had to do back in those days because live streaming across platforms was not a thing. And embedded a chat room, a JavaScript chat room, along with a media player, and we started doing live Bible studies back then. I did an hour-and-a-half Bible study 5 nights a week for about 3 years. And that culminated with something we call the Worldwide Lectureship. I think that was 2008, where we did about 30 lectures over the course of 5 days, and had a pretty good response to it back then, kind of just as a proof of concept. I never intended it to be an annual thing, but that's in the background of Connect, because we had already done it once, almost 15 years ago at this point. And then when about a year before the pandemic, Eric and I decided we want to just do some, teaching together, because we had been separated by distance for a while. And so we kind of resurrected the Digital Bible Study name on a Facebook page. And so we just started doing a weekly show together and did some short video clips, that kind of thing. We're just kind of playing around with it, had a few hundred followers. And then the pandemic hit, and I was working one day and had this idea of, hey, we could do something like the Worldwide Lectureship again, since everybody's home. And I called Eric, and he said, yeah, let's do it. And I don't think either one of us had in mind what that was about to mean for the rest of our lives, apparently. It was supposed to be a 30-day effort. and we are on, much like we are on day 1,200 of 15 days to flatten the curve. We are on, I think, about 475 nights, I think, of a 30 night gospel meeting. So it has been outstanding. We have begun to raise some support from people through our website and some of our other social media platforms, and that has been outstanding. We've been able to donate about $15,000 or more to the scholarship funds of schools of preaching because of the generosity of our people. So we're trying to help preachers out along the way. We do about 20 or 30 hours of live, well, maybe not 30 most weeks, but at least 20 hours of live streaming across Facebook and YouTube. And you can find that at just search for Digital Bible Study on either Facebook or YouTube. You'll find us. And our website's digitalbiblestudy.org if you want to go over there and look at our file archive and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we're really excited about it. We have had great response and just loyal viewers and listeners who are with us night after night with the travels that Eric and I do. I think some of our viewers are here with us more than we're here. I think we've got people that essentially have not missed in the 470 some odd nights that we've done it. But it's been outstanding work, and we are always looking for sound gospel preachers. We've used about 200 or so far. So if you all know any of your hosts, if they want to do some, now we're almost exclusively a live streaming service. We do sometimes convert our lessons into podcasts to be downloaded later on, but our bread and butter is interactive live streams. And that's kind of the niche that we try to fill. And we do, like I said, about 20 hours of that every week. But we're always looking to add more. We have all the software and all the licenses, and it's available to use. So we're just trying to find people to come on board and help us spread the gospel to others.
That's awesome, man. Y'all have done such a good work with being live. Live content is something Michael and I have talked about this. We've talked about trying to do something live, I guess, on our, because everything we do is already, obviously pre-recorded,
Right.
all podcasting and such. And doing live, I feel like adds such a different element, such a harder element, I think, to it. And so you guys trying to line that up night in and night out, it's certainly a feat that's not very easy to do, but y'all have successfully done that. And I know that I have benefited greatly. I know Michael and Jonathan and Derek, I'm sure all have as well, from just sitting in and listening. I'm seeing some of the comments here, people talking about how it's been such a good blessing to their lives. I know that's the case for me, being able to sit and listen to many of these people. And a lot of them are preachers that I know that I don't get an opportunity to listen to all the time. So it's been great to be able to sit there and listen. And so that's been really awesome for sure. So.
Yeah. And one of the things that has surprised me about it is just the exposure to guys I've never heard before. That has been a great encouragement. I've heard a lot of preachers that, maybe Eric knew them and I didn't, or I knew them and Eric didn't, or whatever
Sure.
the case may be. I had heard the name Robbie Eversole for years, but I have never been in the same place at the same time with Robbie. And now he's, won't consider him one of my best friends. I mean, he's on with us before the surgery on all he had. Yep. He's on with us every couple of weeks, and it's just hearing somebody like Robbie be able to preach the gospel like that on a recurring basis. That is such a blessing, and a host of other guys along with him. So it's been a great experience on our end. It's a labor, but it's a labor of love, and scheduling is probably the hardest thing, man. Try to schedule 2-3 months out in advance, and then somebody schedules, or there's a funeral or something. I don't think we've missed a night because of scheduling. We've had a couple of technical issues, I think, that knocked us off for a night or two. But when 7 o'clock has rolled around, we've always had somebody. I will tell you, sometimes that person has been booked after 6 o'clock. but we can always come up with somebody. So
you can always pull something out of the archives, right?
I've got a list of about 4 or 5 guys who have said, if you need me last minute, just let me know. Last week when Julie was up at the Mayo Clinic, I was struggling. I went through just about every single one of my standard guys, and I couldn't get anybody. So
sure.
I finally found somebody who could do it. Anyway, but yeah, it's been great.
That's
man.
Awesome.
And come on and join us when you can. And since y'all are doing this tonight, I think I told you in the open, we've got you set up here on the platform. If any of you or any of your guys, we trust all the guys you have on. If any of y'all ever want to come on and just do something live, it can be a series of classes, or it could just be, hey, I got something on my mind. I want to talk about it for an hour.
Sure.
Or just let us know. We'll be glad to have you or any of your guys on anytime you want to come on and be a part of the work here.
Yeah, Michael and I have talked about, we kind of just in passing have talked about trying to set something up with y'all maybe once a month or something like that with some of our guys doing something. So I'm sure we'll talk about that more, as we go forward from here. Connie said that you're from the deep end is great also. And I don't think you mentioned that. Maybe you did.
That's my morning show that I do. I do it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I take Friday off. And I'm industriously lazy. I love to do things, but it's a 2-hour show. So the second hour of the program is a textual study. But coming up with 2 topics or scheduling extra guests in the first hour, it's a lot of work. So I did it for a while, but one morning I came on and I said, everybody, I don't know what we're talking about today. Just start asking me questions. And I liked it. It's scary because you never know what they're going to ask. But,
absolutely.
That's what we do for the first hour. If you have any off the beaten path Bible question, anything you want, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Monday through Thursday on any of our platforms. It is, I turn the camera on in the morning and I have no idea what we were about to talk about until they start asking good questions. You have to have a certain personality to do that. You have to, I think, just be overly confident to think you can handle that. I do have to tell them every morning. I don't know is a perfectly good answer, but yeah,
that's right.
It's a thrill for me, and the quality of questions I get every morning from the people who view the program is just outstanding. Lots of very insightful questions, and just some wonderful Bible students who are part of it. But that's very very much an interactive study, and that's at 8 o'clock every Monday through Thursday.
Good deal. So basically what I'm understanding is that if we have any crazy questions, just hop on in the morning, 8 o'clock. We'll shoot them your way. So.
Jephthah's vow. We could talk about Jephthah's vow. We could talk about the Holy Spirit. We could really hit you with some stuff,
Yep. I will say my dad is on with us most Thursday mornings.
Okay.
So if you have a really hard Bible,
ask him.
I'm on Thursday morning because that's when we get into the good stuff. I don't know what it is either, but when my dad is on, we have our largest audiences of the week. I think they're trying to tell me something.
There you go.
Consistently our biggest crowd when my dad's with me. But
that's
anyway.
awesome.
Thank you guys for having me on. I'll get out of here so you can get on to talk about your stuff. But again, appreciate the work y'all are doing, and keep it up. And from Eric and I's perspective, by the way, Eric is in the middle of a move, so that's where he is tonight. Why he's not with us. But if anything we can do to help y'all's work out, just don't even hesitate, man. We look at you from afar and just proud of the vision that you had to put this together. And just, I know the effort it takes to coordinate getting that many people together. I go through the same thing doing what we're doing. So it is not easy. And we appreciate your dedication to it and the fruit that it's bearing, brothers.
Well, hey, man, appreciate you. Appreciate your encouragement to us. And just keep doing what y'all do, man.
Yes, sir. All right. Catch y'all later.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Let's see. Jonathan said that there was I'm not seeing it. What was it?
Jewel Pender said, I just subscribed to the Scattered Abroad Network. I'm not a computer guru, so how do I follow you?
Okay. So let me see if I can figure out the easiest way. Easiest way, probably go to our website, scatteredabroad.org. I don't know if we can throw that on the screen or not.
Right now.
But Jonathan said he's getting up there. But go to scatteredabroad.org and you can find all of our content there. So I don't know. How do you describe podcasting to somebody?
It's radio. Everybody says there's nothing new under the sun. That's actually a biblical principle,
right.
But it's really just a new form of radio shows. I mean, growing up, we would get in the car and you turn on the radio and there'd be all these shows with sponsors and all this other kind of stuff. You get on a podcast and you listen to it, and it's really the same thing. It's just on a different app.
Sure.
You don't just find it on your car. You go to a specific app. So if you've got an iPhone, if you go to your search bar and type podcast, you'll find it.
It's purple.
It's purple. And it'll just be called podcasts. If you go to Google Play, what is it? Google Play Store? You're the Android guy.
Yeah.
Google Play Store, and you'll find it by looking up the Scattered Abroad Network. Probably the easiest way to tell them is just look for the master feed.
Yeah, so we created what we call the Scattered Abroad Network master feed. And basically, this is where every single episode that we ever upload will always upload there. So if you want to stay up to date with all of our content, that's probably the best way to do that. And certainly that would be awesome. Somebody said, yeah, Android. So just go to the Google Podcast, I think is what it's called. And you can, Jonathan, you can speak more to this because you're an Android guy.
Yeah, super easy. Just go to your phone, I'm going to give you the exact name. That way I don't get it. The Play Store.
Yeah, Google Play
Store. Google Play Store. And then there's also a Galaxy Store and a couple other things. Okay. But my easiest way to do it is just hit your favorite music app. And they have the podcast. I do Amazon Music. Boom. It's
Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any of those things that you use for music, if you do it online or through an app, they all have podcast sections. So certainly great for that. David, what's going on, man? Good to see you. David and I were in school together. He overlapped with you, I guess, just a little bit since we were all in the same class. But appreciate David very much in the work that he does. Let's see. Trying to think of what else. Somebody posted the link to our website. Thank you so much for doing that in the podcast in the chat. Appreciate that very much. We do have a couple of guests. I know most of y'all, if you know the network and keep up with the network, you know me, you know Michael, and we are the co-directors, co-founders of this network. It's been a pleasure working alongside Michael. It's definitely something that we couldn't do if it was just one of us.
Right.
Put our heads together, and we were able to do this and get ready to kind of pull this off the ground at the end of 2020, launched in 2021. And we are definitely at a place where we didn't think we would ever be.
Yeah, listening to Jonathan talk about the digital Bible study growing, it reminded me of years ago when people would say, well, we extended our meeting by a week. We extended another week because we had such a great response. We said we would be lucky to hit 12,000 downloads our first year.
We thought like 1,000 downloads per month, which was 12,000 for the first year. And then in the first year we hit almost 50,000 downloads. So, and that's nothing to say that we're special, we're great. Obviously, all glory to God. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be in this situation. And that's what we're doing here. We're trying to point others to Jesus Christ and what he's done for us. And thankfully, through the avenue of technology and podcasting, we've been able to do that.
It's amazing to stop and think that Acts 8:4, which was written about a group of Christians who had to scatter because of persecution, we're able to use that verse with a group of preachers who are not living in the same area, who are nowhere close to each other in some cases, but we can still go everywhere preaching the word because of the blessing of technology.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And with this, we've been able to keep in contact with a lot of guys that we probably normally wouldn't be able to keep in contact with as much. And tonight is a testament of that because we have two individuals who are not normally on the network, a big part of the network. Jonathan is a big part of the network on our video side and technical side. Derek has made a couple guest appearances on some episodes throughout the summer. But before you and I talk, I guess we can kind of let them talk. I'll let Jonathan introduce himself and the work that he does. He's acting a fool over here. Talk about your work at Findlay, digital mission work, stuff that you want to talk about.
All right. So, stuff that I want to talk about. Dinner was great. Really enjoyed the fish tacos. I'm Jonathan Burns. I preach at the Findlay Church of Christ in Sparta, Tennessee. Sparta, Tennessee is my hometown. Got to do something unusual, move back home where I live. Matter of fact, Derek and I have done a lot of work together because when I was in high school, Derek came to preach at West Sparta, where I grew up.
Are you trying to say I'm old?
Well, he just did.
How old are you?
I'm not just trying to say you're old.
How old are you?
We'll just let everybody comment on that.
I will quote myself.
Comment if
at
you think
lecture.
Derek is old.
Comment who's the oldest person here.
Comment if you think it's Derek.
But so Derek and I have done a lot of stuff together, and so I got the chance to move back. My dad's an elder at West Sparta, so I preach at Findlay. About in 2016, started doing trips overseas with Billy Bland, Tim Burrows, Tim Hayes. We've been to Singapore, China, Philippines, all sorts of different places. This year, we're scheduled in November to be in Singapore and Laos. Now, interestingly enough, 5 years ago, we were told if you come to Laos, you'll be arrested. This year, they're saying, come on in. So I've got 4 days there. We're going to see what happens. And we'll see come November what happens.
On that note, if he does not come back, we're going to be looking for a video guy.
That's right. Yeah.
So if you can edit,
submit
shoot,
any applications you want,
that'd be great.
So I've been doing that work, but in that it kind of spawned a studio, and I've done international streaming. I've done streaming in Singapore and other countries, and I travel just anywhere I can to do streaming. And we'll be at PTP this year doing the 12 joint podcasts this year. So that's about what we do, or what I do, I guess.
Awesome. You're a nerd.
My wife told somebody I was a nerd, and they introduced me and said, his wife said, he's a nerd. And so,
but you embrace it.
I am what I am.
And you've been able to use it for good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you've done a lot of good. Jonathan and I, well, we met, I guess, probably through Memphis.
Yeah,
I was a student at the time.
Yeah.
When did you graduate?
2013.
Okay.
Okay. You were in the class that did the first studio work, weren't
Right.
you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's kind of probably the first.
Okay. So the first time we met,
had.
and then in 2020,
Get that right.
I moved here. Where we're filming on location here at East Hill Church of Christ in Pulaski, about an hour south of Nashville. Jonathan was the minister here, and then I was the associate. We were working together. Jonathan obviously has since moved on to go back home, and I have fulfilled the role of being the full-time minister here. But we've formed a great relationship, great friendship. We've had a lot of laughs together
In this room, we
had-
tried to record a 3-minute promo.
If we could throw that up, that would be awesome.
Oh,
But it's on. If you're friends with Jonathan on
Find it.
Facebook, he shared it.
I just
not
shared it
long
recently.
ago.
I will share it right now.
We tried so long, 45 minutes, to record a 3-minute intro to our promo for TLC, and we just could not get it together.
No, it was not
There's
happening.
too many laughs, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has
doing
been.
that. Derek, what about you?
Yeah, I graduated Memphis in 2004.
Back when school was hard.
Yeah, that's right.
Hardest.
And we had to walk,
To uphill
5
both
miles.
ways.
Both ways.
Yeah, you're making me older than I really am. But
Did you? Hey, here's the easiest way to tell if he's older. Did you stay at the apartments on
No.
campus?
Ooh, I did not.
Oh,
did
there
you?
you go.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
There you go.
Okay.
There you
I'm
go.
not that old yet.
Raise your hand if you
Yeah.
stayed at the apartments as a student. There we go.
I am so ashamed.
You need to come back. Oh, no.
So yes, went to West Sparta Church of Christ when I graduated, which is where Jonathan grew up, where he was talking about. Been there 18 years now, so they're still
Old.
putting up with me, and all is good. Been directing Bible camp for the White County Warren County Week at Short Mountain Bible Camp in Woodbury, and great times there. Jonathan's helped me out with that for many years, and we had some stories about that, I think. Last
Oh,
time.
there's so many.
Go back. Well, we'll talk about
We'll talk
that.
about it,
We'll talk about it
Okay,
later.
We'll get to
sorry, I jumped
We'll get
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're good.
We'll get
So-
You're new newbie at this.
Yeah.
We have a lot
okay.
of stories.
It's okay.
But anyway, yeah, so we've known each other for quite a long time, and just have really enjoyed working with Jonathan throughout the years, and we recorded. Remember when we tried to record some videos?
I may or may not have found these. And in those, do you
Ooh.
remember you did some impressions of a fella? And I'm going to
no.
have to go back and find them.
Yeah.
So-
Have to go
we'll
back and
see.
find
Okay,
him.
but okay, it's at a point where the video editing is quite hilarious.
Oh, man.
I mean, it was in the prime. In the intro, I had a guy out of California make it for me, or California, somewhere over there on that coast, and it's gold.
Yeah.
It's gold.
Yeah, if we can find that,
I'm gonna start
pull
looking
it
for
out of the
this.
vault.
I'm starting to sense a trend though, because when we filmed our launch video, we had some trouble in here too getting it
Yeah.
started because I was supposed to start on one camera and
we
then
started
move,
it. Yeah.
and I kept messing that up. So, Jonathan, it might be you.
It's Jonathan in
What's
this
the
room.
common
Yeah.
denominator here?
Jonathan. Yeah,
100%. I mean, who's the one? Who's the one who didn't start the recording?
he's
That's
gonna
right, tonight.
wait. He'll take
But-
his stuff. We need it.
Yeah,
we need his
well,
stuff.
Yeah, remember that trailer of equipment that's supposed to go to Sevierville?
So we worked on a few things in digital mission work. I've worked a little
Yep.
bit with you, and working on a book.
Book, we can say that. We
currently.
can say that.
Yeah, okay.
We can list the name. We can list the
looking
name.
at you to see if
No,
that was
let's
okay to
go
say.
for it.
All right.
it's already
a
public
book
knowledge.
called Bible Guide 365. And
Part
that
1.
should be out maybe first of the year.
First of the year's ago.
Yeah.
First year's ago.
So
Good deal.
looking forward to that.
Good deal. Maybe throw that in the chat. People know what
I
that
will
is.
throw that in the chat. right
We've got a
now.
lot of comments here. Thank you guys for coming. Creaking. Hopefully that was a good introduction to everybody here. We're going to talk about our network here as a whole in just a minute. If you want to know anything more about us, I guess you can ask whatever you want to know. Scott Beck, appreciate Scott. Scott is at the congregation at West End in St. Louis, where I grew up. I went there for 17 years, I think. So I appreciate Scott and his good wife, Lisa. They've been a big help to us. They've supported the network financially, among many other ways. So appreciate the Beck family very much. He asked what's new in the upcoming season. We're going to get there, I guess, probably in just a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll release some of that stuff. Marlon Ratana said it was an honor for him to help us with the Spanish content. Appreciate Marlon very, very much. I know we're all good friends. Thank you, Jonathan, for
Yeah, I'm
throwing
here
that
for
up
you.
there.
Yeah.
Marlon is a fantastic friend and brother. Many people know him and the great work that he does in the Hispanic ministry, Spanish content, and then just the work in general.
My abuelo. Love you, abuelo.
And then let's see.
I've got to catch one here.
Okay.
Loretta Simon is in St. George, and she started watching East Hills program Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, quite a few years ago, and she has hung in there. So there she is tonight.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Isn't it crazy how it all kind of comes back together? Elias Roque is in the chat. Elias is part of our network, and we're going to actually talk about him in just a minute.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. In a good way. Elias is a great guy. Do you know an M. Teskey?
Yeah, that's my father-in-law. We can skip that one.
Okay, next
Oh,
comment.
I'm sorry.
So,
There
no, he
we
said, good
go.
evening.
It's gone.
What's
Okay.
coming up on the network? What's coming up on
Delete
the,
it.
I think you meant what is coming up on the network this next year.
No, he KJV'd it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
next year. But no, we're gonna get to that here in just a minute. Sue Ross said she's planning on going to PTP this time for the first time ever, and we're gonna talk about PTP here in just a minute. But super excited about PTP, and we'll get there in a minute. Melissa, I think I'm pronouncing her name. Miss Price, we'll say that. I just don't want to mispronounce anybody's name. She said they're going as well. And super excited for a lot of the things that we've got going on.
Yeah, you got to talk
Marlon,
about that real quick.
Go ahead.
So I literally thought abuelo meant brother. I don't know why. I thought it was just like another term for brother. So I kept calling him abuelo all the time. And then he finally said, that means grandfather, right? And I said,
Nope.
Yes.
Do not.
So yeah, that
That's
and we have a good bond over Waffle House. It's one of Marlon's favorite places to eat.
Waffle House.
It's not, but
It's really
he'll comment in just a minute and say that. So
Oh man, good deal. Well, Michael, let's talk about the network
Yeah.
just for a minute. I know we've got somebody wanting to hop on here in just a little bit. to
it's
talk
just
about-
Chase.
It's
We'll
just
get to him in
Chase.
just a
He's
minute.
there.
Why don't you go and talk about your podcast? And well, actually, no,
Yours is first.
I'm first. We
Host
have
first.
Jonathan. Great picture.
Yeah, we're not all happy with our photos in this. Okay, just
I
be
am.
aware of
But
that.
it wasn't our photographer's fault. Jocelyn
No,
did a fantastic
She did
job.
a great job.
It
We
was
just
the
look
ones
terrible
Who she was
photographing.
photographing.
We're off to a great start.
New to
but-
English.
So my podcast, I've been doing my podcast for I guess a couple of years before Michael and I kind of put heads together and started talking about the network. But my podcast is based out of Romans chapter 12, talking about the idea of not conforming to the world, but transforming ourselves to be the best that we can be for God. So that's basically kind of the crux of my podcast. And we've been through a lot of different things over the last few seasons. I unfortunately had to take a season off last year, or not last year, this past season. I guess it was season 3.
Yeah.
My wife and I had our first daughter in November. And then I took the full-time preaching job here also in November. So we had a lot of stuff going on. So I just unfortunately wasn't able to get a lot of that stuff recorded. But I am planning on getting ready to go with this new season. We're going to be talking about Christian living and what all is entailed within that. We're going to look at a study of the book of 2 Peter. So very excited about that.
Yeah, you don't have to put the
Oh,
big
I
photo
do.
on
We
that.
do
Yeah,
have
okay,
to.
so this is my
this
awful
good-looking-
photo
this
that looks like I
good-looking-
got stung by a bee, maybe 45 bees.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it up there every different way I can.
And,
Here's a way.
let's see, there you go.
Photo
There you go.
Here's a way.
So,
There's
The
a
photo
way.
is far
the podcast that I
Far worse.
The
have,
photo's far worse.
the podcast
were
is
on
called Far Better, and it is taken from the Bible verse Philippians 1:23, to be with the Lord is far better. And it's the idea of trying to please God in this life so our eternity can be far better in the next. And I've kind of shifted away from just the solo stuff a little bit more here lately. I've done a lot of guest-oriented stuff, mainly because it's a lot more fun to talk about it with guests. I enjoy being on Digital Bible Study tonight through the network with people next to me. It's almost always by myself while I'm preaching to myself, because that's all I can see. So I've done more guest work lately on the show, but got a good season coming up that is going to be talking about things that we should not be focusing on, and focusing on the right stuff instead of what tries to consume our lives. So that'll be season 4.
Good deal. We have a comment. Jewel said, so Caleb, you have a different podcast. So I guess to explain kind of our network, essentially what it is, when you think about the Scattered Abroad network, think about an umbrella and all of these different podcasts that we are about to talk to you about. And then my podcast and what Michael's just talked about, they all are different podcasts underneath that network. So when you think about the Scattered Abroad network, just think about one overarching umbrella and lots of different shows coming out from underneath it. So we all host our own separate shows. There's some shows where we're all on together. Probably just confused. That was really confusing. But there's a lot of different shows underneath the Scattered Abroad network.
How many shows are we on together? Someone asked me the other day, and I have no clue.
Together, you and me together.
As far as what
Joint
we've
podcast,
done,
highlight podcast, Through Their Eyes, Did It Really Happen? I think that might be it. So 4.
Okay.
Plus our own individual
Right.
ones. All right, who's next up on the list?
Who's
Jonathan's got the
next?
list
Let's
here.
see here. Oh,
Oh, Chase
it's
Green.
the guy that's waiting.
It's the
Chase
Chase
guy.
Green is actually waiting to come on. We're trying to get through talking about the network.
Chase, good to see
so
you.
He can, so he can hop on. Chase was one of the first guys I think we called when we were talking about putting the network together. We were thinking, who could we get to put on the network that we can rely, that we can trust, who are going to bring sound doctrine, but who are going to do a really good job at podcasting. There's Chase right there.
Ooh, big Chase.
Put him in there.
What's up, Chase?
All right, kick him out.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Can't hear you.
Yeah,
Hey,
fix your
turn
audio and
turn
we'll.
your thing. Is your sound up?
He has no audio yet. I have no bar. You have no audio. That's okay. I'll turn you off. Figure that out. Good luck.
Okay. All right. We got to move on anyway because we need to. Okay. So next on the list is
Daniel
Daniel. You wanna
Webster.
go?
Yeah,
We can go back and
Daniel-
forth.
Daniel Webster's got a podcast that is called Bible Storming. You've heard of brainstorming. This is where Daniel talks about the Bible and he storms different ideas and talks about different doctrinal beliefs that are either erroneous or true. Does a great job with that. He is definitely, and this is not a diss. He'll laugh when he hears this. He's the more modern of all of us.
Absolutely.
And
he makes
so-
us all look.
Oh man,
I don't know if bad or good. but
yeah.
I
He-
don't know.
He's very efficient at what he does, but
Very.
he is definitely, he acts his age
Right.
as far as how he talks. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that would make him mod.
Yeah.
My-
Odd. He is all
Daniel is our graphic designer as well, also the one who built our website and continues to the upkeep of our website. So Daniel is very valuable to our network. And so all of our graphic work that you've seen, he does it. If you like it, he does it. If you didn't like it, he still did it. But if you need any graphic work done or you need any website work done, I always point people towards Daniel. He does a very, very good job, is very good at what he does. Let's see who's next. Drew Settles. Drew is one of the first guys we called. I actually didn't even know if we were going to get him on the network at first, but that was something that we were trying really, really hard to do to make sure that he got on the network with us. Drew is an extremely well-spoken gospel preacher. He studies the book. He knows it very well. He lives by it. Got a great family, great wife, and he talks about in his podcast just how to navigate all the difficulties of life. In fact, his last season was one of the best seasons I think he's put together, just content-wise, and it came in lieu of some tragedies that have happened in his life, and he talks about how he dealt with it and how a Christian can approach grief and loss and tragedy and things like that. So it's been super beneficial to me, just in listening to him and learning about a lot of those things. And I know he's been beneficial to others as well.
Coming up next, we have. I'm going to let you talk about this because you know him better than I do. He's a great
I don't
guy.
even think you guys have even met.
We've met over like FaceTime.
Okay.
That's about it.
Elias is a great guy. I've known him for a couple years maybe, but he is the one who does all of our Hispanic side, all of the Spanish content that we do. So he has a podcast completely in Spanish, and he is the minister at the Hispanic side. I'm butchering all of this. At the Western Church of Christ in St. Louis, there is a Hispanic congregation, and they are the ones. He's the one who is the one who preaches there, and he does a lot of good for them. He has built that congregation up from just really his family. And they've got, I think, 20 to 30 members now in the span of a couple of years. So he's doing a great work. Super excited to have him. We're definitely going to be getting him more involved in some of the stuff that we do as time goes forward. We're certainly grateful to have Elias on with us.
All right, I'll take this next one.
And Elias commented on in here as well.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, Connie, it is a lot like the GBN. We have a lot of different things that just flow out from underneath it. So
this is Jameson Steward. He and I were classmates for about 6 months when I was wrapping back around, finishing up my time at Memphis School of Preaching. Jameson's podcast is Asking God Why. It's very much looking at the text of the Bible and asking why that text applies to our lives and trying to figure out what we need to be doing to make them stand out more in our lives and how we live and how we behave and how we act. And he's been a good buddy of mine for several years. We worked together at the Gospel Broadcasting Network for a couple of years. That's where I first really started to get to know him. I'd known of him, but Jameson's an excellent preacher, and his centeredforchrist.org that he's been doing lately is spectacular. He's an excellent writer. We love him very much with all that he's doing, and I've won several fantasy football championships over him. So he's not here to say that he's won too, so I'll say that for him. But that's Jameson's podcast. It comes on Fridays.
Go subscribe to that. centeredforchrist.com.
.org, I believe.
He sends basically a short, it takes you probably 90 seconds to read his article, but it's great biblical thoughts. He does an awesome job with that. Jonathan's trying to pull up his where you can get that information, but it looks like he's not.
It'll be on his Facebook.
It'll be on his Facebook in just a minute. Jameson's a great guy. Another one of the guys who's very involved in the network. He helps us make a lot of decisions in terms of that, and just great to have Jameson on with us.
I don't think you're going to find it on Drew
Yeah,
Suttles.
just move on.
Oh, what am I doing?
You're on Drew's, not.
That's
and
okay.
He told you that.
Oh, man.
Well, all right. So next.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
I did.
Okay, there we go.
All right, this is Josh Cantrell. I know him as Brandon Cantrell because that's what he told me his name was when we were about 14 years old when we met. But I call him Cantrell for short. His podcast is the Diligent Podcast, and it basically seeks to cover the idea of being diligent in our studies, and that comes out on every other Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Yes, every other Saturday. Grateful for Josh and the work that he does with us. Up next is Lima Isene. He is the host of the Ohana podcast. Lima was in my class at Memphis. We graduated together in 2017. He is the minister at the Honolulu Church of Christ in Honolulu, Hawaii. So super cool guy. A lot of kids in his family, but he's got a great family.
A lot.
A lot of kids. In fact, I think they just
had a baby.
Just had another
soon.
one. But super excited for Lima and all the work that he's doing over there and the work with his podcast, all about family and coming from that aspect. So super grateful for him and the work that he does with us.
This is Key Ford or Riketrick, however you say it, Ford. We call him Key for short. Key does a podcast on the Mental Health Wealth podcast. It's also on the Gospel Broadcasting Network, GBN. Key is a licensed counselor, and so he kind of dives into the idea of counseling and trying to deal with those things. So if you're wanting to find that podcast in the video form, you just go to our YouTube page and type in Scatter the Broad Network on YouTube and find it. He has done several episodes and has quickly grown into one of our more popular podcasts because of the work and the effort that he puts in.
Yeah, Key does an awesome job. He's a great friend, great brother. Very, studied in his area of expertise and does a lot of good work with that. So.
Your combos guys are next.
Okay, so
I'll do Bradley's.
Okay,
please.
So these two guys are not hosts of any podcast yet. They are producers of some shows that they help us produce some shows. They currently work all in our social media platforming, and then also specifically with our Highlights podcast, which we are going to talk about later. And I don't think actually I had Jonathan put that in our slideshow, Highlights, but we'll talk about that later. But Josh Kennedy is a recent graduate from Memphis. He's working in Arkansas with a congregation whose name I cannot remember, but he's working with Jerry Martin.
Yes.
So he is certainly in good hands there. Josh is a great guy. There's the Highlights podcast. That's the logo for it. And this is a podcast where essentially Michael and I try to sit down with biblical Brotherhood Works, who are sound and who are doing a great work, and we try to basically shed some light on them. So kind of like we expose them and then they help expose us, type of thing. And we've got 2 uploaded so far. We've got a lot more that we want to record at PTP, which we're going to talk about more in a little bit. But a lot of good stuff coming from these 2 guys. You want to talk about Bradley?
Yeah. So Bradley's picture is
Bradley's on the right.
Bradley's on the right, and he's getting a new headshot. So is Josh, because I think Josh is like 11 in that photo.
He looks like he's 11.
If you've seen these guys lately, they know we're all going to do this to them, so don't worry. It's just our relationship to them as friends. But Bradley is a minister in Murray, Kentucky, at the Hickory Grove Church of Christ.
That's where he grew.
And that's where he grew up. Yes, he just
Newly
recently moved
married.
back there.
Newly married.
Got married the weekend of the East Hill lectureship here. Truth
He
or
did,
Lie.
because he was going to speak,
Yeah.
and he said, "I'm sorry, I must cancel. I think my
Yeah.
marriage is more important." And I said, "I think you made the right decision."
What was it in Luke chapter 9 though?
Well,
What was it Jesus said? So Bradley's a great guy. He is also going to be writing for the network, doing some blogging, and be looking out for that. We needed more written content. And we'll say this now, we haven't worked out all the details yet, but Jameson's blog will also be joining the network at a certain point in the next year. So be looking out for that as well. But that's Bradley Smith and Josh Kennedy.
Next, we have 2 guys that you probably have no idea that are on the network, because the podcast that they are working on and doing has actually not yet even been recorded. But this is something that is going to be coming out in January of 2023. And nobody's commented anything yet. That's why I had to reboot it. Anyways, so this Scott Cain is on the right and Matt McBrayer is on the left. Scott Cain is the minister at the Forest Hill Church of Christ in Memphis, Tennessee, the congregation that oversees the Memphis School of Preaching. And then Matt McBrayer is at the, how do you pronounce it?
Cerrito.
Cerrito.
Or
Church of Christ.
Cerideo, as I called it. For a week.
Cerrito Church of Christ.
The Doritos.
In West Virginia. So he is a ways away, for sure. But 2 great guys, and we are working on a lot of logistical things with them, trying to get everything worked with them. Chase Green is going to be the host of this podcast, and you all have already talked. We've already talked about Chase. Chase is about to hop on, and we might let him talk a little bit about this podcast in a little bit without giving away the name or anything like that. But certainly we're excited for a lot of the
Good
things
luck with that.
that podcast is going to bring forth. It's going to be geared towards families, and I'll just leave it at that.
One thing too, before we get in to the heart of this podcast tonight, this live stream, this is not a Bible study tonight. We want to make sure that that's
Correct.
stressed. We have a program called Did That Really Happen? We mentioned it earlier, and that's what we're doing tonight is a end of the summer season live Did That Really Happen? So if you thought we were going to be studying the Bible and then you're getting very concerned with the Bible study that we're going to embark on, I want you to know right now, we're not setting out tonight for a Bible study. We're just trying to have some good, clean Christian fun as we close out our season.
Close out our summer season.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. We wanted to do this last year, just have some fun, close out everything, and kind of get things geared up and ready to go for next season, season 4. You look like you're about to say something.
It makes us the tail end.
Will
close out the season.
Yeah.
There's like I don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
Just
And there's nothing to say.
Jonathan, if you would bring up this comment by Sister Deb, she said we should seriously consider having live sessions on Facebook, and I think we probably will. We'll talk more with Jonathan and Eric and DBS and work on trying to get something like that. But appreciate your confidence in us. She says that diversity is great, and that's kind of what we've been going for, trying to cover as many topics as possible with also not chewing off more than we can handle, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
We've got 17 shows.
We started with 6 shows.
Yeah, I think we've got 17.
And
right now.
we're at 18 different works right now going on. So
Yes,
that's
and we're obviously got a lot going on. Trying not to get too much on our plate, just trying to add in a few here and there. But certainly we're excited for a lot of the things that we are hopefully going to be able to accomplish and do. I want to mention one more thing before we go to the Did That Really Happen aspect, and that is talking about polishing the pulpit. I don't know how many of you are going to be at Polishing the Pulpit, but almost all of us guys at the network are going to be there. We are going to be actually, Alan Webster was kind enough to give us a slot on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. in the SEC food court. And we are going to be recording and filming a live episode of our podcast. I don't know exactly what podcast it'll be under, probably just a special episode.
Right.
But we are excited to do that. We've got some questions and things that we're going to go over that are specifically about polishing the pulpit, because that's what obviously we're using their platform to be able to do that. So if you would love, we would love for you to come by and to be a part of that, sit in and listen to us record a live podcast like that. Also, we have a booth that we're going to have in the exhibit hall. Yes,
Tell
sir.
them where that's going to be.
The booth,
The recording.
the recording.
Food court.
I did.
You did?
SEC food court. Keep up.
Sorry.
Where will the
Doing other
recording be?
things.
Where
Where
will
were
it be?
Where were you?
Where will it be?
The food court.
Oh, okay,
SEC.
cool. It'll be at the food court, Jonathan.
I'm just going to take that off the screen there.
No, you can put it back on. You can put it back on. That's great. Policy of the Pulpit is a great work, and it's blessed my life. And I know these guys who have been and obviously we have been deprived of it for the last couple of years. But super excited to go back and to be able to be a part of that, worship and sing and learn and study. So I know it's going to be great work there. But we do have a booth that we are going to want you to come by. We're going to be recording all of our joint podcast episodes. I'll let Michael talk about our joint podcast here. But we're going to be recording all of those episodes live there. And so if you want to try to get a sneak peek, but they're not going to release until January of next year. So if you want to get a sneak peek of what we're talking about, come by sometime Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday throughout the week. And we will be there doing some recording and stuff. Come by, talk to us, and we'd love to introduce ourselves to you and get to know you as well. But
yeah, for the first 2 seasons, all of our joint podcasts were filmed in this room. So it's kind of a sad send off tonight that we're filming this, and then we're going to do the joint podcast at PTP. But it's going to be an exciting thing because Jonathan has a great on the road travel setup for recording stuff. And he's going to be able to record us at our booth live. And so the theme for this year coming up in 2023 is Behold Our God. And we're looking at 12 different topics, and we're going to go through those topics in a 30-minute segment, 12 30-minute episodes with our hosts rotating through some of the guys on the network. And you'll see some faces that you've never seen on the joint podcast before. You'll also see people hosting on the network for the first time, the joint podcast that have never hosted before. Caleb and I hosted all of the first 12, and then we got smart and we decided, hey, we'll switch it up and let some of the guys that are on the network host. And so we're doing that again this year. It should be really great. And even if we've already finished the joint podcast, there's probably going to be a bunch of people recording stuff with other guests throughout the week. Feel free to stop by at any time and talk to us. There should always be somebody there ready to talk to you about the work.
we're going to be recording a lot of highlights episodes. We're going to be talking about probably to a lot of the vendors and booths and such works that are there, and be able to talk to them about the works that they're doing. So super excited about that. There was something else I wanted to mention, and I cannot remember what it was. So with that, where are we at?
That at the end? Do that at the end?
Yeah, we can do that at the end.
Okay.
So super excited for that. If you're going to PTP, please come by our booth, say hello. We'd love to get to meet you. Oh, this is what I was going to say. We didn't talk about our works. So why don't you tell people what you're doing? Because things may have changed since the last time.
That's right. So I now work for the Memphis School of Preaching in Memphis, Tennessee. If you are looking for a preaching school, everyone on this episode tonight has graduated from MSOP.
Within the last 20 years.
Right. Derek, what was the last 30, 40 years for you? So, bye, Derek. I think only Brother Elias is the only one on our network that has not graduated from the Memphis School of Preaching. Here comes the Church of Christ Fern.
We said we didn't want any.
So,
Perfect placement. Except a little bit more, and we'll get Caleb back in there.
Yeah, we need Caleb in there. Don't break it.
Fern.
But I work for the Memphis School of Preaching, so my job is to travel around, talk about the school. So if your congregation is in need of one-day Sundays, your preacher might be out of town, and you need someone to come in and fill in, I'd happily come up and talk about the school, giving reports on it, and taking care of any preaching or Bible class hours that you need to do that. I can also help you by giving tours at the school and having you come up and see our facilities and all that we have to offer. And we have a wonderful blessing. I'll mention this and I'll kick it back to Caleb. Degree completion. And Caleb or Jonathan's about to throw my email up here if you'd like to contact me about the school. We have degree completion offered through universities, Churches of Christ universities like Freed-Hardeman, Amridge, Faulkner. Those take the credits from the 2 years at MSOP and apply them to your studies at that Christian university. and it will save you a lot of money in all cases. And so keep that in mind as you continue on with your thoughts about preaching. If you know somebody that wants to preach, send them my way. You have my contact information, and msop.org is the place to be for the school.
Absolutely.
Go ahead,
we all are grateful for Memphis and what they have taught us and the foundation that they have helped give us. So certainly we are all indebted to that school. As I said before, I'm currently the minister at the East Hill Church of Christ here in Pulaski, about an hour south of Nashville, about 45 minutes north of Huntsville. So really kind of in the middle of nowhere. Not a lot here. But no, wife and I, we love Pulaski. Certainly grateful for this town and for this congregation here, what they've done for us. My father is Kevin Rutherford. He graduated from Memphis. My grandfather is Rod Rutherford. He graduated from Memphis. My uncle is Brett Rutherford. He graduated from Memphis. My father-in-law is Joey Davis. He graduated from Memphis.
I feel like we need like a family tree.
Distant
list.
relative is Adam. He first attended the Memphis School of Preaching.
When did your granddad attend the school? He had to have been early.
I don't know.
I didn't know I was going to have a pop quiz.
I have no idea. I don't even know when my dad went. I know my dad went. I want to say my dad went in the 80s.
Okay.
Maybe. And my dad is now working at the Memphis School of Preaching with you in admissions and recruiting and stuff like that. So certainly grateful for my family and what they've been able to do. Married to Kaylin, and together we have an 8-month-old daughter, 8 months today, Hadley, and she's the cutest little thing you've ever seen.
Which means I have an extra selfie to send Pam, and I'm going to do it right now.
Pam, if you're watching, you're getting some more selfies.
It's coming right now.
But on the heels of all of this, I will say this: in 2 months, we are going to be moving. Kaylin and I will be, along with Hadley, obviously. We're going to be moving.
Just leave her behind.
We're moving way down south to Dallas, Texas. I'll be working with the Roanoke Church of Christ, and that is where Kaylin's parents are working. And Joey and I will be working alongside one another, and just excited for that work and what we're going to be able to do there. So that was this whole introduction. It was supposed to take, I said, 15 to 20 minutes. We're sitting at 7:55, so we really need to scoot on with this. Let's bring Chase Green.
Chase is green. Here
Chase,
we go,
you ready?
Chase. Told you I'd give you 20
Oh,
seconds.
what a great place to start. Hey, buddy.
No
I'm
sound.
sorry, buddy. No sound. You're almost there.
I appreciate Marlon's comment.
I do.
yeah,
I'll
we
throw
should-
that up
should
there
show
while
that.
this is
Showing
going
us,
on.
giving us some validity. We do know how to have fun. We mess around all the time. But when it does come to study to the works of the church, we take that extremely seriously. Obviously, we're all involved in preaching the gospel in some form or fashion, and so certainly we take that very, very seriously. Hoping Chase can get on here.
I'm going to get Chase out for just a minute. Give Chase time to get back on.
Okay. Do you want to talk about? Did it really happen? A little bit.
Yeah,
Kind of what this segment is.
this show is.
Chase is calling me, and I will put him through my microphone.
Is that what we're doing?
So-
Is that what you said?
Are we ready? Here we go. Let's try Chase here. All right.
No,
Chase, you're on board with me.
Hey, can you hear now?
we can hear now.
We got you.
I guess in the comments, let us know. Just make sure you can hear Chase Green through. Oh, let me get this comment. Jules said, "Do we know Nathaniel Ferguson?" I know of Nathaniel. I don't know if I've actually ever met him. I'm almost 99% positive that Ren Ferguson is his brother. Ren was in the class
With me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He graduated a year before I did. And I know.
Nathaniel was before me.
Okay. So
Yeah,
we
I
are. Yeah.
know.
But I know that they do a lot of mission
Really
work.
confident.
Know they
Yes,
do a lot of
that's it.
mission
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Certainly. So, everybody's saying they hear him. So go ahead. Bradley Smith,
Okay.
what's up, buddy?
Cool.
Nice
So
pick.
for Did That Really Happen? I don't really have any preaching Did That Really Happens yet, but I do have some from preaching school. So does that count?
That counts.
I mean, it
So
did
you
happen.
did you tell them what?
Yeah.
So before
So-
you start, hold on 1 second, Chase.
All right.
The basis of the show, for those of you that have never watched or listened or any of that kind of good stuff, is growing up, I attended a lot of gospel meetings and lectureships, and I always heard these preachers talking about crazy stories and things that had happened to them. And then I had a few of my own happen. And so last year, Caleb and I were talking about summer content, and we said, why don't we do a show called Did That Really Happen? And so we put together a program, and we had 8 episodes with 8 different gospel preachers, and they all talked to us about some of the crazier things that happened to them. After that, Caleb found out he was going to be moving, and so we had to kind of pivot just a little bit. And so instead of Caleb being on this particular season, I did almost all of the hosting except tonight, and we had guys that I knew had funny stories, not just preachers. So, yes, Chase, absolutely. If you've got a funny story, I don't care if it's about preaching, church, preaching school, whatever. You hit us, man. Go.
All right, so I've got a couple that happened at school. The first one was has to do with Justin Bean. Y'all remember Justin?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Very good guy, good brother. Preaches in Ohio, I believe. But anyways, he was in our class, Caleb. And there was a time when, for some reason, I think it had to do with my grandfather was kind of lingering on his last days, if you will. And I got really depressed for several months there while we were at school, and I just couldn't stop thinking about, mortality. And come to find out, Justin was kind of in the same funk that I was in, and he mentioned it to one of our instructors that he was just having a hard time thinking about death a lot. And so I kind of connected with him on that. But anyways, we went to our afternoon chapel afterwards, and I had the song leading, or I think we sang 2 songs, and I had one of them. But anyways, I said, hey, everybody, let's turn to number 49, As the Life of a Flower. And we're going to sing this song, and I'm going to dedicate that to Justin Bean. And so, okay, whatever. We're all getting ready to sing this song. And for those who may not be familiar with the song, it's an extremely old-fashioned sounding song. It kind of drags on a little bit. But anyways, in the chorus, it says, as the life of a flower.
Little solo there.
Yeah, as a tear or a sigh, something. But anyways, it says, and at last we must die.
Oh,
And I sang that song, and first of all, almost no one in the audience knew it, I don't think. So it was, you talk about a solo, that was quite embarrassing. But then I talked to Justin after the fact, and he's like, thanks, buddy, I really appreciate that. That really helped me. And just in his typical sarcasm, if you know Justin Bean, that was quite hilarious.
He's full of dry humor.
Oh,
Justin
yeah,
is.
for sure. And so I just wanted to give him a hard time. And that lyric that says, and at last we must die, I thought that was perfect for what he and I were kind of going through at that moment. But I've also got some sports kind of stories. One of the most recent Did That Really Happen episodes, I think you were talking to a couple guys about some sports stuff, and that kind of reminded me of one particular event that happened while we were in school regarding sports. I know Caleb and I, and Michael, you played with us some, and Drew Suttles played a lot. Several different guys, Lima. We would play sports a lot. We would play basketball. Football was probably the 2 that we played the most. Just to kind of have some downtime in between our studies.
Question.
But,
I hate to interrupt. I'm just jumping right in.
No,
there.
you don't. You don't hate
Well,
to interrupt.
I'm excited to interrupt, but could you wear shorts?
our second half,
second
while we
year
were
we
there,
could.
we could.
See, school was easier. when I
Okay,
was
hold on.
in
Derek, could you wear shorts when you went through school?
In what context?
Out
Any
and about.
context.
Could you wear shorts outside of your apartment?
Yeah.
school. They didn't live on
Oh,
campus.
you didn't live on campus.
So that rule
Could
did not
you-
exist
we
at
could
the
do
time.
whatever we wanted to do.
Could you go to the school in shorts? Didn't think so.
No.
Yeah. Old.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Sorry, back in.
Yes, the rule was negated when we were there, when we had like 6 months left. So we were rejoicing about that. But so basically, we were playing sports, and we did a lot of basketball and football. But one thing that I've never been very good at was soccer. But we had some guys from Panama, and Marlon Retano being one of them, that loved to play soccer. So we would play that. And talking about did that really happen, y'all tell me, do you believe me or not? But one day, I've never been just a super great athlete. I'm a decent athlete, I suppose. But one day I scored 4 goals in a soccer game. And I want to know if Marlon Retana remembers this. But he actually passed me a ball one time in that game, and I headed it into the goal. And I don't know what came over me that particular night, and I have never been good at soccer ever again. But for some crazy reason, I was just going crazy that night. I would like to know if Marlon remembers that.
Marlon.
Where you at, Marlon? Marlon's probably like, that never happened.
Yeah, Marlon's like,
Yeah,
no.
he's probably gonna. throw me under the
Regardless,
bus.
he's not going to say anything as principal.
Marlon's probably sitting there thinking, should we tell him that we let him do all of that?
Marlon said, Chase, you were good at sports. I do remember.
Marlon says,
What a nice guy.
He did it in his own goal. He didn't know.
He said it was in his own goal. No, that's
We don't
funny.
have to mention that part. No.
That's funny.
But seriously, it was. I felt good that for once in my life I actually did pretty good at soccer. But ever since then, I've always been terrible at it. But and then there's one other thing. Do y'all ever play Two Truths and a Lie?
We're Christians. We don't do that.
No.
No.
So I've got a Two Truths and a Lie for you. And this one has to do with sports as well. So two of these things really happened to me, and one of them is completely made up. I want you to try to figure out which one is the one that is not true.
Lie.
So speaking of did that really happen, did I get hit in the head? And when I say hit in the head, I was wearing a helmet. So did I get hit in the helmet 2 times in one game in a youth baseball game? Also, did I win 2 rodeos, one of them in high school and one of them in an amateur rodeo? And the third one is, was I a high school running back who averaged 2 touchdowns a game at a small Christian school?
Lie.
I prefer 3, but I know it's the lie.
How small of a school?
That's what I was wondering.
So you think it's
half
3 is
A.
the lie?
I think
Okay, wait,
2
wait,
is the
wait,
truth.
wait. Are you saying at a small Christian school? Are you talking like kindergarten,
Like a private
Pre-K.
school.
pre-K?
In high school.
Pre-K.
Oh, in high school.
Stepping stones.
It's got to be number 1.
You think number 1 is false?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The head at the baseball game?
Yeah, I could see you in high school doing really well because most offenses in high school run. So that wouldn't surprise me as much if you average 2 touchdowns a game.
All right. So we got one who believes the rodeo story and one who believes the football story.
2 who are silent.
Anybody else?
Didn't listen.
I honestly can't remember all what you said.
That's
so-
what I'm thinking too. So just go ahead and
Well,
go on.
Chase, we enjoyed you on the program. Next time, come back with us.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate it.
All right. All right. So the lie was football running back. I've
And
never
that's what I
played
said.
organized football.
But I would
So,
love to see you play organized
Well, you know
football.
what? Lying
I
is a
love
sin.
Football. I just never
Kick
played
him
it
off.
organized. But just real quick, there was a time in youth baseball that I had just got
Oh, it's
some
2 truths and a lie.
stitches because my head had been busted open. I got stitches, and I got hit in the head while the stitches were still in. I was hitting the helmet. But the first time I got hit was when I was batting, and so I got to go to first. Anyways, I made it to third and then was running home, and the
Got hit
catcher
again.
hit the ball, and I got hit again in the head on the same series in baseball.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was great. And then the other one was the rodeo. I won 1 high school rodeo and 1 amateur rodeo in the event of steer wrestling, of all things. So,
For whatever reason, I believe that one immediately.
really.
Because I don't know. I can just see you doing that, and I don't know why.
I said the
Well,
same.
It was a tremendous adrenaline rush, and I absolutely loved it. Did it for 2 years in high school and 1 year of college. But I'll tell you this, I would probably never do it again. It was dangerous. One time I got run over by a horse.
Wait, what? Why didn't you lead with that? What?
We'll save that for the next time,
Wait a
Chase is
minute.
on.
Yeah. No, so basically in steer wrestling, you get off on your horse onto the steer, and then there's a horse running beside you to keep the steer running straight. Anyways, that horse ran over me in the practice pen one time. So it's really a wonder that I survived that. But yeah, interesting story.
Amazing, Chase. Well, I hate that we couldn't get you on video because I would love to have seen your face, but it is what it is.
Hey, I think it's better this way anyway. So.
Well,
Good talking to you, buddy.
Face for
thanks for
radio.
radio. We were both
All right,
thinking the
see
same
y'all
thing.
later.
All right, man. See
Thanks,
ya.
Chase. See you, man.
Bye.
Couple comments talking about, well, let me get this one. Bradley Smith said Brother Bland played basketball with us. Brother Bland's a baller.
Yeah, Brother Bland.
Knocked down some shots. He
I
knocked
would
down
not
some
want to play
shots.
against Brother Bland.
No, and then we got a couple comments in here talking. Scott and Deb talked about Brother Higginbotham his episode with us was very, very funny.
Oh yeah.
He has what is the name of his book? The life in the
The Prodigal Son, wasn't it?
No, that's
No,
Alan
no, no, no.
Webster.
Day in the life of
A Day in the Life of a
the
Preacher. Steve Higginbotham.
Doesn't he
the
have a
funny-
second book?
He might, but
We're talking about the
we're
book
not
about
talking about a
stories.
Bible book. We're talking
Sorry,
about a
I was
story
talking
book.
about the. He has a second book. I'm sorry, he just released it like last year or something.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, that's his wife. You're thinking of his wife, I believe. Anyways, we'll move
Somebody
on to-
confirmed that the
Yeah.
name of his book, A Day in the Life of a Preacher.
Thank you,
Thank
Deb.
very much. A Day in the Life of a Preacher. So that's a great book. Lots of stories. He told us some of those on that particular podcast. But it was he's very, very funny. A lot of those episodes we had. Joe Wells had a great one with us. Trying to think who else we have on. But Jeff Archie was on with us. My dad was on with us. That one was weird.
Derek and Jonathan.
That
were on
one
with
with
us.
Derek.
We
and
were
Jonathan.
on.
That's right. Sorry.
Derek's over here.
I don't know why I'm here.
How many words have you said this whole night?
10,
Um,
and most of it has
The
been
one,
us
with Derek
ridiculing him.
and Jonathan was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
When the prodigal is your product. was
That's
the
it.
second.
That's the book I was talking about. Sorry,
Deb is on top of things.
Thanks,
man.
Deb.
Appreciate that. very
Deb,
much.
Deb's got my back.
Deb's the Hibbard family is a really great family, by the way. I just wanted to say that.
Don't know
Good-
Deb,
good
but
to see
Deb's
y'all
getting
on tonight.
points.
Oh yeah.
My book.
Appreciate that very much. Maybe you're PTP, come by our booth. We'd love to see you. We'll hand out some stuff to you, some stickers and pins and all that good stuff
yeah.
that we've got.
And Deb
but-
might get the first copy of the 2023 season early. I'm just
She
kidding.
might.
Speaking of points,
Oh boy, here we go. So this is
um,
where a lot of people are probably going to click off because they don't want to watch this. But-
we're gonna play 5 rounds. We'll do 5 instead of 7. We're gonna play a game that I'm calling vocabulary. We don't have a better title because I just came up with this yesterday. I have an app on my phone called Vocabulary, and
I'm letting my wife know I'm receiving her text message.
oh, okay,
Don't worry.
She'll
get it in a minute.
okay. Well,
I
I have
anyways,
to text her later.
so there's an app on my phone called Vocabulary. It sends me updates throughout the day, trying to help me boost my vocabulary as a preacher to where I don't use the same 3 words every day. So we're gonna play a game where I'm gonna play the word into the mic so y'all can hear it. And we're going to start with Jonathan and work our way around and just kind of go rapid fire here.
I
Let's
thought we
do
were just.
three. Let's do 3 rounds.
3 rounds. There we go. 3 rounds. So we're going to do 35 rounds.
Go ahead. What?
I thought it was a free for all, but okay. I
Do
mean,
you want to do a free for all?
Let's just do it. Yeah.
let's
all
do a
right.
free for all. Whoever jumps
Whoever
in.
raises their hand first, we'll do it that way. There you go.
Oh, hit the,
Hit
hit the
the
buzzer.
hit the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hit the
we
buzzer.
gotta get a
Person hit
buzzer
the table.
system for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want
We'll work
Okay.
on
a bell.
So
Ding.
let me
that.
get
Different
to
sounding bell.
let me get to a good one here.
Okay.
So how it works is if you spell the word correctly, I'm going to give you a point. If you define the word correctly, I'll give you 3 points.
Did you read
this
that comment?
comment? This
Hang on,
comment-
I'm putting it up
This
here.
comment's great. Jill says you guys will find out that this group will hang just as long as you guys are here. We'll let you
No,
know
we're gone.
So appreciate that.
Thank you, Jewel.
Hang with us for, I don't know, maybe 20 more minutes or so.
So I'll play the word. You spell it correctly, it's 1 point. You define it correctly, it's 3 points. If you do both, I'll give you 5. However, if you say I'm going to do both and you get one wrong, you lose that point off your final score. The amount of points that you would have gotten, you'd lose that off your final score. So if you can't do either, you lose 5 points. We'll explain it as we go along. 3 rounds. Caleb will keep
Come on,
score.
we're good.
Here we go.
Everybody
Everybody ready?
Score. You got that?
Thank you.
Caleb will keep score. Here we go. Let's see here.
Perfidious.
Hold
I
on.
think it'd be better if
Perfidious.
you
And you
said
need to
it.
use it in
Yeah,
a sentence too.
Perfidious.
Perfidious.
I'm not using it in a
Perfidious?
perfidious.
No,
I'm
we
not
need it
using
in
it in a
Let's go.
sentence unless you ask
Okay.
for it.
I just
Well, we're
asked for it.
asking
Ding
All
ding.
right, Caleb.
I can spell it.
All right,
Perfidious.
Yeah.
Perfidious.
that is correct. 1 point for Caleb.
Whoa.
Anybody
But
wanna
I will
take a
define
stab?
it if you will use it in a sentence.
Okay.
That's
After
not fair.
the
You had to hit
official-
the table.
You hit the table, yeah. After the
I will
official,
define it.
after the official was caught selling government secrets to enemy agents, he was executed for his perfidious ways.
Sly, stealing, lying.
No, Jonathan, would you or Derek, would you like to try to steal for 3 points?
Sure, read the sentence again.
Hit the table. Okay. After the official was caught selling government secrets to enemy agents, he was executed for his perfidious ways.
Sinister.
No. Disloyal or unfaithful. So Caleb's in the lead with 1 point. Let me. Okay.
Expiate.
Expiate. Expiate. Expiate. Oh, Caleb.
EXPIATE.
Oh, Caleb's another point.
Let's go.
Anybody want to take a stab at defining it.
Just want you to use it in a
Oh,
sentence.
that's Derek.
No.
That's Derek.
Yeah, use the sentence.
To expiate my selfishness, I gave all my profits to charity. Use it in another sentence, please.
To expiate my
It
selfishness,
sounds like the word expedite. That's what I'm
I
thinking.
gave all my profits to charity. Is that what you said?
That's what. Yeah.
I'm blank.
To
So you are minus.
wait. So
No.
Yes,
no.
because
If
he
you
asked-
try to do it
No.
and you don't answer, you
That
give
also
up your
means
point.
you're minus 3 as
No,
well.
no.
I'm
wait,
minus
wait,
for the
wait,
first
no,
one,
no,
yes.
no. That's if you go for the 5. That's if you go for the 5. So nobody has any negative points yet. That's
Oh,
if you
okay.
try to go for
so
both.
if you got to go for both, okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to say it means to put down or suppress your feelings.
No, it means to make amends for or atone.
Okay, so he has no point.
No
negative,
points.
I
right?
have
No,
none.
because he didn't go for the 5. You go for the 5, you
Oh,
lose.
that's the
points.
only time you lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Pusillanimous.
I'm out. I'm out.
Pusillanimous.
Pusillanimous.
I'm out. Okay, can we say use it in a sentence without?
I'm gonna spell it.
Oh,
Okay.
baby. P.
P U
Synonymous.
S.
Salamis.
Wait. S-A-L.
S-A. No.
Okay, so he's
Use it in a sentence.
You still don't
Okay.
lose any points.
I was in the 4th grade. spelling bee.
Pusillanimous.
take Michael's
Pus-
Michael's
Pusillanimous.
next.
Years ago.
Michael's next, Marlon. Don't worry.
I came up with a game, Marlon.
Nope.
No.
You're next.
Well, this is the last round.
Oh, no.
We'll
There's
make
a bonus round. It's
pusillanimous.
special.
You didn't know that.
Politicians who vote according to whichever way the political wind is blowing.
Speak the word again.
Pusillanimous.
Okay.
One more time.
Pusillanimous.
And one more time.
Pusillanimous.
Read the
Okay.
sentence again
All
because
right.
I wasn't
Right
paying
there.
attention.
No, come on.
Wait.
All right, well, you gotta let them. I'm the only one who's.
I know I need to get 2 other people, and I can't get a gift that I
Okay,
bought.
here we go. Come on.
I need you to say the sentence again. Pusillanimous.
He already
I'll
said
let I'll let you skip this for a negative on the next round.
No, I want you to.
You're not gonna get.
I want you to use the word because it's not going to hurt me. I can guess.
Pusillanimous. Politicians who vote according to whichever way the political wind is blowing.
People who have no backbone, right?
Did you buzz in?
Did you
People
buzz
who-
in?
No, I was just thinking.
Negative 4 points.
Pusillanimous. Politicians who vote the way it's going. Slimy people.
No. Okay.
Is that what you got from that?
Definition. Let's hear it.
Wait a minute.
He didn't know.
Idiosyncratic.
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 I'm
Spell it.
I'm gonna spell it.
IDIOSYNCRATIC.
Yes.
Let's go,
Yeah.
man.
0.
I'm okay with not spelling words because it's
I'm
not my
impressed you-
forte.
All right, now,
Why? 'Cause I wouldn't have
Lightning round, and then we'll move on because we've got other stuff to do. This
Sue, thanks so
we'll-
much for joining us. Hopefully everything goes well tomorrow for you.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be praying for that. We'll move on after this one because we got to leave them wanting more, and we'll talk about why later on.
Ooh, yeah. We'll
So-
tease that.
Here is the lightning round for 3 points, which would secure the win for either one of y'all. I'm going to read the sentence and let y'all buzz in, and the person who gets closest to the definition,
Rigged.
the person who gets closest, that could be
Basically,
you.
Whoever can tap the table faster because I'm playing. I mean.
Okay. I know you had trouble with the last test, but because your mistakes were highly idiosyncratic, I'm going to deny your request that the class be given a new test. Caleb.
All right, say it again.
No.
Out. You're out.
Okay. Buzz in, big boy.
I need to hear it again.
All right. I'll read it again because someone was over here. I know you had trouble with the last test, but because your mistakes were highly idiosyncratic, I'm going to deny your request that the class be given a new test.
I should know this, but
We should be Googling these words.
Yeah, no kidding.
What were we thinking? We just realized this.
Don't you dare.
I thought of it.
He can
but I-
see it. He can see it. Don't look it up. He can see it. You can't even spell it. Idiosyncratic.
Okay, I'm buzzing.
Okay.
Self-centered.
Okay, read the sentence again.
I know
Everybody's
you
got-
had trouble with the last test, but because your mistakes were highly idiosyncratic, I'm going to deny your request that the class be given a new test. Think about.
I
Think about. No,
Yes.
you don't get to buzz back in.
Yes. So I think
You
that
just looked it up.
No, I did not. I think it means that essentially the mistakes that like you made were completely avoidable. Like they were brought on by you.
No.
It like idiot, you're dumb. It was your fault, your problem.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
bad.
I'm going to say that you made the same mistakes that everybody else in the class made, and therefore no one can retake the test.
He was closer.
Let's go.
All right, so first place. We have prizes.
What was it?
It was highly personalized to one person, like
Individualistic.
peculiar to one
So
person.
let's
Yeah,
5
self-centered.
points,
Yeah, I would
That's
say
what I meant.
1 point, and
0.
0 points.
Okay,
Zero.
so here's your
0
bag
points.
Fine with
first
me.
place. Here is your bag second place,
Oh yeah.
and here's your bag third place.
Ooh, stink.
Inside that bag are gifts that we gave you. We gave you
Whoopsie.
a personalized license plate.
Okay.
Okay. We
What's
thought
yours?
you would
What's
win.
yours?
Nice.
no way.
Yeah.
Parents,
Boys.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, what is this?
Why did you say I
It's a
wouldn't?
hand warmer and a charger for your phone.
I wouldn't.
amazing.
Yeah.
Why would I not want what I got? I mean, unless there's some. Because I can go ahead and tell you, I'm not eating the Tootsie Rolls because
Not the
I'm not
midgies?
sure that they're exactly Tootsie Rolls.
You don't like the midgies?
Here,
No,
I'll
I'm
trade
not
you
sure.
My Tootsie Midgies.
I'll take the midgies. Give me the midgies.
I don't even like Tootsie Rolls.
Midgies?
Yeah.
You like-
No,
you like-
I'm grateful.
Now,
for my gift.
Jonathan, let me
Three-letter
see
word.
yours real quick.
Which one?
When you-
This?
Yeah.
I'll play with this with my boys.
This, your boy. I guess 3 and up. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
they're
a
old
card
enough.
game called 3-letter words. We're trying to make it easier for Jonathan to be able to spell and also know what the words might mean.
Hey, this is some Earth Day.
And then that is a Care Bear. It's the friend bear because Jonathan could have really used a friend helping him out this game. Now, before we move on, we're also going to take one quiz together, and then we will talk about
Let's talk about
the teaser
Yeah.
after that. So we're going to play a game. The 3 of y'all are going to tell
Why
me
do we have to play? Why can't you play?
because I came up with the game, so I already know the answers. That's why Marlon. Michael Escapes was not taking a test.
Once again, I might add.
Man,
Once again.
I will have you know that my grade point average
Was
was
2.
averaged among other grades, and therefore it was good. This is a game called Fake or Real. We're gonna read headlines, and you're gonna tell me. All 3 of you will. Nobody gets any prizes or anything. You just
don't
tell
wanna play.
me.
Hey, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
I'm
You
gonna
just
do it.
tell me if you're good with saying that it's fake or real. Everybody make a decision, and we'll lock in the answer, and we'll reveal it. Okay.
Or
Here's
can we not all make our own decisions?
So we have to answer as a group.
answer as a group on this one.
Okay.
We can do it. We can do it later
Alright.
like that.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's fine.
all right, first headline: NASA is installing internet on the moon. Real?
People, if
or
you're in the
fake?
chat, if you think this is real or fake, throw it in there. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, real or
Say it again.
fake? NASA is installing internet on the moon.
Well,
Fake?
the technicality is NASA already has internet on the moon because they're already moving data from Earth to there. They've already been to the moon. However, I believe it means they're installing Wi-Fi on the moon.
Probably.
Real.
So I'm
Jewel
gonna,
says real.
I'm gonna go
Real.
fake.
You think
Oh,
fake?
shit.
just said
All
everything that
three
I
of
was
you
doing
going-
being real.
All 3
I
of
was
you are saying
going
fake.
real. No, I was.
You're
going
saying real.
I'll go real
Okay,
with you
we have,
guys.
we have
but real-
fake. Oh,
I'll go real. If y'all are gonna go real, I'll go with you. But we have to decide as a group. So I'm not
Yeah, I
gonna.
know.
I'm not gonna derail the
All in
group.
favor of real. Everybody in the chat says true.
all right, so we're gonna say it's real. Everybody ready? Here we go. Reveal the answer. It is real. This is really happening.
Oh.
NASA will be building a 4G network on the moon, enabling them to control lunar robots. This story was reported by Newsround, The Independent, and several other sites. All right,
You
Cool,
said I
thanks.
watched the news.
here we go.
Didn't really
Headline
care,
number
didn't really
2.
care about it. Just wanted to know.
A university banned the use of capital letters to avoid scaring students.
We are. you
Yeah,
are
we
talking
know
about-
this one,
I
so
can't- I
you're
can't
exempt
answer
from
that.
this one.
Can't answer that.
A university banned the use of capital letters to avoid scaring students. I don't know how they did that with the keyboards because they all come capitalized.
There's some scary looking
But-
keyboards.
True or
Why-
fake?
I don't even understand why that would scare anybody.
Because
'Cause
people these days are
When you
wimps.
type in all caps, it's like screaming. That's what people have always said.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say false because people who are usually scared of regular logic also like to scream.
Okay.
So I'm going false.
Okay. Fake?
I'll go with you.
Somebody
Yeah,
says
okay.
it's true.
Fake.
Somebody says
Alright.
it's true.
But I could see. I mean, I could
It
see
is fake.
it. Oh,
My son said true.
I could see it.
What a
Adam says
joke.
true.
What a joke, Adam. Come on. No, I love you, buddy. Daddy misses you. Fake. Some real guidance given by a university was
Somebody said
misreported.
Dumb.
Um,
I'm going with
to
Deb
seem
here.
more dramatic,
There
it's
we
important
go.
to check a story in multiple sources to get the full picture. All right,
All
here
right,
we go. Couple in California named their baby with an emoji. Real or fake?
I say that's
Oh.
fake because I don't even think you can technically do that on like a
Elon-
birth certificate.
think
Elon
it
Musk's
kinda
child had a symbol that was not
That's ex-
recognizable,
Yeah.
but
well,
an emoji's not that far away.
what about Prince? You know, like he had a symbol.
Like,
Did
yeah,
he? I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
He had a
He was
logo-
the artist formerly known as Prince.
Oh,
because
yeah,
he
yeah.
just had a symbol.
yeah.
So I think it's real.
I'm gonna go real.
You're saying real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb, do you want to try to
Sure.
derail? All right, real. It is fake. This story
Ah.
was completely made up. Adam, you are a rock star, bro. I love you, dude.
Me too.
Adam said fake. You said fake. Awesome.
These losers.
All right,
So
well, Jewel
it was
with us,
completely made
so-
up
Jewel's
and
got the
shared
best
by a
option.
satirical news
Easy.
site. If you're unsure about a story, remember to question the source. Does it look like a professional news site?
The bee.
All right, next.
Number 4, 8-year-old girls pull 8-year-old girl pulls medieval sword from the lake.
I think that could be very true.
Oh, all day. But can we get some context
Yeah,
on the
like,
geography
there's
of the
so-
lake?
Nope.
Like, yeah,
it just
where's
says
the
lake.
lake?
It
Alright.
just says lake.
What does the
like
sword look like?
Excalibur.
That's what I was like. Now she's King Arthur. I mean,
Exactly.
what-
It's like
is that
it's
what
like
we're going for here?
pulls the sword out of the stone.
DW.
Okay,
over
there's
here
the
pulling
one at
swords out
Disney.
of the
Somebody
lake.
broke it and got it out, but they didn't let them have the prize because
Somebody
it broke.
said it was plastic.
All
It's
right,
plastic.
real or fake?
I say
Um,
true.
True.
I'm gonna say it's very likely.
All right. Real. This really happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 5. We have 3 more after this one. German street covered in chocolate after leak from chocolate factory. Real or fake?
Read again.
A German
German
street
street.
was then covered in chocolate after a leak from the chocolate factory.
I
True.
feel like that could
True.
be very true, but we've had like 2 trues in a row.
I'm going true because I
We
feel
have
like
to tell
this
a
is.
story about that after.
I feel like
Yeah.
this has really happened. Oh yeah, like
Brother
your dad's
Liddell.
test.
Or Brother Liddell.
Either one.
I
Wait,
hope
what
you're
happened?
watching Brother Liddell.
Brother
we'll
Liddell.
get to you in a
Go
minute,
for it.
buddy.
True.
I'm going true.
Lock in true.
All right, real.
Somebody
It
said
is real.
Somebody said if it's fake, it should be real.
If it's fake, it should be
If
real.
you like chocolate, go to Germany.
If you like chocolate, go to Germany.
Yeah, it completely covered the pavement. All right, number 6, 3 left.
So like
School band's
walking in
parents.
it,
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like I read this article too.
licking
That's
it
why.
up.
Number 6, school bans parents from sports day for bad behavior.
True.
that could 100% be true.
Look, I did Parks and Rec when I lived in Oakland, and
Do dreams come true?
Megan.
Oh, that's
I
your
lo-
wife. I just read
That's
the
my wife.
comment.
Yeah, I love you, honey. That's my wife. Everybody, hype her up in
Who's
the
that
comments.
ugly dude
She's
in her
amazing.
profile picture? That doesn't.
That's my brother. No, that's me. So y'all said real. I will say I worked at Parks and Rec in Oakland, Tennessee.
Sorry, Megan.
I have a hard time. I would say it's fake personally, but it is real.
Yeah.
That did happen. Cool.
Next.
They were too competitive and threatening the staff.
Yeah, I
Number
figured-
7.
I mean, I can see that 100% being true.
Sp-
Parents are what makes kids sports like not.
For some reason, I feel like
Yeah.
this was an Alabama or Texas story because I've read that one.
probably.
We need parents to keep their kids at bay 1,000%. I was involved in sports growing up. I was involved with it after I graduated school. I coached varsity girls basketball. Parents, horrible.
Parents are the
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
Parents are the problem.
Horrible.
Number 7, spinach is taught how to send emails. Real or fake?
Spinach.
Spinach, like Popeye the Sailor Man's favorite food.
No,
that's-
no. I feel like spinach is like a monkey or something, and they taught him
No.
to email.
That's got.
Or are we talking
So y'all
about
are
the
saying fake?
actual
Yes.
food?
You're saying fake.
false?
Wait.
It was real. I'm sorry, I went with it. It was real. Somehow, spinach was taught how to email. That's amazing.
Marlon is.
No,
in
Marlon's
chaos.
killing it. I'm leaving right now. It's been a long day, and just because I know
Bro,
Michael,
Marlon, I hope you're not tired. I know it's probably like 6 a.m. for you. Thanks for getting up and being on the live stream with us.
See you
Number
later.
8,
Marlon, I sent you a message on Facebook to hop on with us and
Yeah.
tell your story about Chase, but you
True,
didn't
Deb.
respond to me. So,
last one, and then we've got to move on to some of our other stuff that we want to get to before we close it out. A gorilla learns to knit.
Gorilla
True.
learns that- I think that's true.
Oh,
True.
yeah.
That's doable.
All day long.
Has thumbs.
It
I said
was
fake.
Fake.
What? You can't. I say fake.
Gorillas are impressive, but they have not mastered knitting yet.
And spinach can send an email.
So here, are y'all ready to?
So who's
you
better,
ready to know?
gorillas or spinach?
Yeah.
we
Spinach.
did, we
obviously.
did pass, but here's what they literally said: you got 5 of 8. Good effort, but lots of room for improvement.
I'd
You
say.
can't always trust your gut reaction. Always make sure you question the source and check who is reporting the story. #facts.
Knobby fingers.
Now, if you have
Appreciate you, Marlon.
if you have enjoyed what we've done just now, among other things that we plan to do in the future, I'm going to let you talk about an idea that we have.
We've got an idea that blossomed from. What episode number was it when we did Did That Really Happen? It was like episode.
They were on both of them.
It was like
We did 2 back to back that day.
Yeah, but only one of them had both of y'all on it. I want to say yours only had you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
his
Yes.
had
Yes. That's
you
right.
with
Both.
it.
I was on his.
I know. I'm reading the comments. So basically, what does that
Bryn,
mean?
That's my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Bryn, I wasn't taking the quiz. I was letting them do it. Come on now. But you're fair. They
No.
need to get better than a 50.
No.
All right. So let us know if you think that this is a good idea, because obviously we want people to listen to it. If they don't, they're lost. But no, I'm kidding.
Everybody just shuts off right there.
So we have thought about putting together a podcast of us 4.
Hoot and a holler.
Because we have a great time every time we're together. 100% we think we're hilarious. 100% everybody else thinks we're not hilarious.
Probably.
Let the numbers speak. Okay.
That's true.
There are 40 people who have pretty well consistently stayed throughout this.
So
kudos to y'all.
basically we thought about putting together a podcast that's just us, that is all like just comic, funny stuff, relief. We do games like this. We talk about this. We talked about getting like a wheel made of like
we're getting a wheel.
dumb stuff that we have to do.
I'm already
just to kinda-
I'm
just to kinda
sourcing a
have
wheel
some
now.
fun.
I was sad we didn't have a wheel tonight.
A wheel, yeah,
Yeah.
wheel unfortunate, right?
And we're gonna have a little microphone behind the whistle. We can
Yeah.
do that. I mean, it's gonna be all out.
We forgot to hand the mics to each other.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's okay. no, it's okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, John.
So we're thinking about putting that together. We've thrown the name out. What is that? The
We're
Hoot
scared of- yeah, Hoot and
the
Holler.
Hoot and Holler podcast, because we
The
have
Hoot and Holler
because we have
podcast.
4 hoots and we have a holler every time we're together.
That's right.
So-
Or we're 4 hollers and we have a hoot. I don't know which one.
That's even more interesting.
So we've thought about doing that. Let us know, I guess, if you think that that's a good idea, bad idea. Even if you think it's a bad idea, we'll probably still do it because we want to do it just for the sake of having fun with just us 4.
Oh no, this is happening.
Definitely happening. What?
I don't know, Bradley. Bradley, why don't you join? Oh, wait. We didn't invite you. There might be a reason, bro. What is Michael going to do?
Make sure to get this on the
Bradley.
official
Wow.
record.
Hey,
This is
put his picture back up for everyone to see.
By the way, this is who's commenting this picture. The
Look at
one
that.
on the
Zoom in on it.
I don't know
I
if
don't
you
think I
can.
can.
There you go.
the
No,
one
that
on the
was my
right
screen.
is
Oh,
Bradley
man.
Smith.
Let's see.
Definitely much funnier guy than Michael. At least he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Ah,
For
can't do
sure
it.
he thinks that.
But so that's just a thought that we've had. We're always brainstorming new ideas. Brent says,
Wow.
You're getting
I
the
take
hate-
back
you're getting the hate
everything I've
tonight.
ever said about you, Bren.
So
Mean and fake.
we're always brainstorming new ideas, different things we can do to make the network better. We've talked about doing just because this is obviously a work of the church. We want to make sure we use that money wisely. We've talked about doing something called SAN Plus. Basically, our average age is like 85, so maybe not the best. Good point. But
for our listeners that
For
are
our
going to
li-
hear this after,
right, we do have a lot of people who are hopefully going to listen to this afterwards. But go ahead.
Nope.
So
That was the best comment of the night.
I don't even remember what I was
Can
saying.
100%
Can you
the
pin
best
it?
comment. I think I can star it, whatever that means. Pinned message. Oh,
Yeah.
it's. Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even.
That's great.
That's Scott. He's
he's ancient.
ancient.
Wow.
Scott's not. He's only like
Everybody in the comments, is Scott
50
old?
or
Yes
60.
or no?
He's like 60. Right?
Deb
50.
gets some more points than me.
50.
Pin that comment.
Scott,
too.
how old are you? I think you're like. I'm gonna say 55. I know. Scott
Watch
is.
him come back and be like, I am 95 years old. Thank you.
He's
very
not
much."
that. He's not old. Trust me. Not old. I don't even remember what I was saying.
We were saying
About
we were going to
comment.
do this.
We've
and-
got. Oh,
yeah.
I'm talking about. We've got a lot of stuff that we want to do. I'm not old. 50. Oh, I said
Oh, you were
55.
close, but I was closer because I said 95, and that's closer than you. That's how the Wheel of Fortune thing works, if I remember correctly, or Jeopardy.
The Wheel of Jeopardy.
Yeah, the Wheel of Jeopardy. Family
Yep,
Feud.
he's an old man. What
Just
is
Michael. The Wheel of Jeopardy is what he pulls off with tonight.
that's what we should call it.
Wheel of
The
Jeopardy.
Wheel of
'Cause-
Jeopardy.
Yes, Wheel of Oh man, what's the word?
Wheel unfortunate.
No,
Misfortune.
Wheel of
Unfortunate.
Tragedy. Wheel of tragedy, because whatever we have on the wheel is going to be really
Definitely.
tragic if
we
do
thought
it.
about then, like, you have to eat this spoonful of hot sauce, and if
Spin
you
the wheel,
don't,
baby.
if you don't
Don't.
eat it, then you have to spin the wheel, and the wheel could say like, shave your head or something like that.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. No, wait a minute.
It's a lot of hair going on up here.
Shave your beard.
Shave your beard.
Eyebrow.
I'm the.
Deal.
Shave your
Deal.
I'm
Yeah.
good with that.
Deal.
What?
Then you have to do
Oh,
eyebrows.
shave the facial.
Shave your facial hair.
Alright.
That
I don't
means-
know. We'll just always brainstorm. So if you guys have any ideas that you're thinking about, things that you want us to do, want us to see, then just let us know.
What this?
Let us know. What are you talking about?
No, just talking to him. Now, there is only about 2 things left to do. And the first is to open it up for our guys that are here to hit us with any stories that they wanted to hit. And then I've got my story that I've been teasing all summer long on the season that y'all have not heard
I
yet.
thought we were not going to have to listen to this.
Too bad. We are going to still be live for a little
Well,
while.
we don't have enough time tonight.
Oh, but that camera does, good
Yeah.
sir.
But
So-
this button says end stream
Oh,
or
if you
control.
click that
G.
accidentally,
Do it.
Control.
Derek,
If I
you
accidentally-
had a story or two.
Well, I can tell. There was a time on a Wednesday night, I believe it was. We were getting prepared, and
Ooh.
what's that?
Go ahead.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
bringing
You ready?
someone on the show.
Make
He's
it quick.
he's gonna
All
hang
right.
in with us for just a minute.
All right. So getting prepared, and a random guy comes in, and nobody knows him. He goes down the aisle, and I mean, we're like 10 minutes till time to start. He goes down the aisle, goes to the pulpit, and just randomly starts talking at the pulpit. Not sure what he was saying.
Like from the pulpit
yeah,
or just
from
at
the pulpit. Yeah, in the
Completely in it.
microphone.
Man.
And is starting to talk, and everybody's going like, what is going on? And so one of the guys starts going down the aisle up there toward him, and he immediately stops and says, all right, plans have changed, and I'm not going to be able to speak tonight as I planned. So yeah, and he just walks away and goes out, and just like that, it was crazy.
Wow.
Everybody was just like, what just happened?
You want to tell the
So-
other one?
Should I?
No.
This is a live stream.
Should I?
I just think y'all.
Wasn't that one on? Was that not on our?
I feel
No.
like we may.
No,
No,
we went to
happened.
lunch and he
No,
mentioned
because
it.
we
Yeah.
sat there forever
And tried
telling
to-
the stories we weren't sure that we could
Yes.
tell.
Yes, Jewel, it's
It's just
real.
real.
Oh yeah,
That's
absolutely
really,
real,
that's
Jewel.
why
Here's
that's
the
why
thing.
the name of the podcast is Did That Really Happen?
Everything that we
Yeah.
have said tonight and everything that was on all of our previous Did That Really Happens, all real, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. Line out one to another.
Mm-hmm.
It
right.
really happened. So,
Bring
yeah.
Marlon in real quick.
Okay,
All right, let's
Marlon.
bring
Here we
in
come, Marlon.
Abuelo. Abuelo!
Abuelo!
It's way past your bedtime, bro.
Can't hear you.
I don't have your
Oh,
audio.
You don't have audio.
Can't hear you, dog.
Kick him out.
No.
Had to click that little setting button and
No,
change
no,
your audio.
audio. I don't think you can change that.
Yeah, I can. How do I spell that?
What about now?
Oh, you got it!
Marlon,
There we
Marlon,
go!
So Michael changed my name. So I just mentioned Abuelo's grandpa in Spanish. I might look old because I'm so tired of all the work we have been doing, but we are blessed to have the Spanish Bible School, and I recorded 33 lessons on the Book of Acts. Hopefully, it will be available soon. But it's good to be with you guys. Caleb asked me about kind of a story. I don't know. There are too many stories from MSOP and being a classmate with Michael. I should not be able to share them.
That could be its own show, probably.
Yeah. I've, as you say, we are Christians, so I will not share those things. No, but as many of you know, I did the 2 years program and I also did the missions one. Well, when I finished the 2 years program, I'm a graduate of the school. And there was the time where the no face hair rule was still in place. So I show up to the Forest Hill services with my goatee and get to see Brother Mosher. And because I was a graduate, I thought it was okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he looked at me and sent me back to the room, sent me back to the apartments. I was like, but I just graduated. But no, but you're still in the campus. So you better run
You still
and
haven't
shave.
ever-
Even though I was a graduate and getting ready to do the missions program, he sent me back to the apartment to shave. So, class, Bible class, 15 minutes, worship service. That has been the fastest shave I ever get in my life. But I guess that's the only one I can remember right now from times of that. As preacher, I might have some, but my mind is blank right now. But I want to thank you guys for all the good work you do. Hopefully, you keep growing and you keep getting more of these podcasts and shows. And as people has been asking, try to do more live sessions. I mean, Michael, it is just 8:38 here in Texas right now, so
8:30
no time
a.m.
zone
How are you
change.
awake?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's because I'm your same time zone.
Oh, I don't understand that. Good to see you, Marlon. We'll see you next time. We
See
love
you guys. Have a good night.
Bye, buddy.
Bye bye.
Hope you get some
See you,
sleep. I
Marlon.
know it's late.
Marlon's such a good guy, man.
So you don't have to if you don't want to. It's your call. We could save it for
Yeah, well,
Hoot and
let's
Holler.
save
I think
it.
it's
Yeah,
a,
go
I think
ahead.
it's
Go
a
ahead.
save.
Hoot and
I think
holler.
any
Go with
story.
yours.
Oh, I was talking about SAN Plus.
We do that at the end because
Oh.
that's where we
Yeah.
need to
Yeah, we're
talk
doing
about.
That's what I meant.
So,
Oh, okay.
um,
Joe Mama.
Joe Daddy. So I was.
Let me check it out.
If you've seen any of the content that we have produced, if you listen to it, I guess is a better way to put it, you know that I have really bad trouble with cars and travel, which is great because I then took a job where I travel for a living. I was supposed to be in Savannah, Georgia on a Sunday morning, and I woke up at 7 a.m. to a notification that my flight was canceled. And so I quickly booked another flight because it's over a 10-hour drive, quickly booked another flight, made it to Atlanta. And this is kind of where the fun begins. When I first got on my flight to Atlanta, I had 16B as my seat. And I go to 16B, and there's a couple sitting in 16B and A, or B and C. And so after doing that, I asked the guy, I said, "Hey, man, I think you're in my seat." And he said, "No, I'm in 16B." And I said, "Well, my boarding pass says 16B as well." He showed me his.
That's not Comfort Plus.
No,
No, it's
he
not.
showed
You flew
me.
coach.
I had to. Yeah, they kicked me out of Comfort Plus after I booked it.
That's
So they show me his boarding pass and mine. They're both 16B. I'd never seen that before on the Delta app. The lady said, "Well, sir, if you'd like, you can go up to 11A, which is Comfort Plus, and that's kind of an upgrade for you anyway. That's where he's supposed to be sitting." So I said, "Sure." But she told me, "In the meantime, we need you to go to the back of the plane and wait for everybody else to board." It was a full flight. I mean, we're going to Atlanta from Memphis. That's the hub of almost all airport travel from Memphis to anywhere.
Busiest airport in the world.
And so I am standing in the back at this airport waiting, and there's a woman talking to her mother, I guess, about her boyfriend or whatever, and their relationship did not work out. And I'm sitting here listening to all of this thinking, "Lady, would you please stop talking? Because I didn't need to know about your love life."
Kind of how we all feel right now.
Exactly. About that lady, of course. So after everybody boards, I finally go to sit down, and I'm thinking, okay, had some bumps. It's going to be smooth sailing from here. In the airplane, of course, you don't have your Wi-Fi on unless you pay for the Wi-Fi. This plane didn't have Wi-Fi available, so I didn't have any. And I land, turn on my data, and find out that my plane to Savannah, Georgia was canceled. So now I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have no way to get to Savannah. And so I get out and I ask the guy at the counter of the gate that we went into, the terminal or whatever, the gate, "Where do I go?" And he says, "Go over to 11B and they'll take care of you there." So I walk over to 11B, and I kid you not, there is a line of about 150 people. And I am 151 of that number. So I'm standing there and I'm thinking, okay, I'll rent a car. So I open up the national app. I start trying to rent a car. And it says, "Hey, we have cars available." And then I hear people walking by going, and they don't even have any rentals available through national. And I was like, okay, well, that's a bust. So I call. "Yes, we have rentals available." The whole time I'm trying to get out of here because I know there's no way that I'm going to make it to my destination if I don't try to drive, because there's no flights coming out of Savannah that I'm going to be on. I spend 2.5 hours in this line, finally get to the front counter, and I told the lady, "Ma'am, I just want a ability to go rent a car. I want my bag and rent it. She said, we have to go down to baggage claim to get your bag. Okay. It's about 8:30 at this point. I get down, finally get through all of the baggage claim, talk to the people, and they said, hey, we can get your bag, but it's going to be about 2 hours from now. Well, the lady had told me that I was on a standby list to make a flight. If I wait 2 hours, my flight's supposed to leave at 11. So what's the point of getting my bag? So I didn't ask for my bag. I try to go back up, and I have TSA pre-check because I do fly a pretty decent bit. They had just closed TSA pre-check. Now, Caleb knows because he's seen my bag. Jonathan knows. I don't think Derek's ever seen my computer bag, but it is chock full of different pieces of tech. And that's a big no-no when you're flying through an airplane, you're flying on an airplane to go through security. You got to take all that out. TSA pre-check doesn't make you do that. And so I had never, in the time that I worked for the school, had to take everything out. I go through and the lady says, sir, do you have more tech in here than just your laptops? Yes, ma'am, I do. Well, you got to take all of it out. So I had to take all of that out. I finally get back to the gate and I went and I said, hey, can I please just find out if I'm going to make this flight or not? Because if I'm not going to make the flight, I'll go down, tell them to go ahead and pull my bag. 2 hours from now, it'll be here. It'll be ready. I'll be good to go. So try to get the bag. Guy wouldn't talk to me. Said, I'm dealing with Austin, Texas.
Thanks,
I'll deal
Deb.
with you
Appreciate
after.
it very much.
Bye, Deb. I tried to get my bag. He wouldn't let me do it. So I'm like, well, I'll get dinner at least. I guess it's 10 o'clock at night. He won't tell me if I'm getting my bag or not. Go to McDonald's. McDonald's is closed. Go to Wendy's. Wendy's is closed. And they just stopped. Like they just closed down at the moment that I go over there and do it. Sorry, Jewel. I'm not trying to scare you.
Fine out Thursday.
I finally get to a sandwich place, get a sandwich and chips. And by the time I eat, they're boarding the flight to Austin. I wait for that. It is 11 p.m. I finally get up and talk to the guy. And I said, hey, I just saw the list of the standby and I'm number 40 of 58 on that list. I'm pretty positive I'm not making it on this flight, but could you check for me? And his face was so telling because he went, yeah, Mr. Clarke, you're not making it on this flight. And so I said, okay, perfect. Can you just tell them to pull my bag from baggage claim before they put it on the plane? And he says, we can't do that from here. You've got to go back down to baggage claim. I go back down to baggage claim and I'm talking to the people. I'm waiting and I get up to the front and there's this woman there. And it was really funny because she said, are you a pastor? And I said, you know what? Yes, ma'am, I am. I was just so done with everything that had happened. I was like, whatever will get me my bag. Yes, I am a preacher of the word of God. And she said, well, I just had a feeling, you know, my daddy was a pastor too. And I'm thinking, great. Can your daddy give me your bag? That is more my bag. Can he bring that back to me? And so I told her my story and I said, I've been punched in the face continuously on this trip. I'm not going to make it to my destination. I need my bag because it has everything in there that I need to make it to a hotel. And she said, I'm sorry, sir, but we stopped pulling bags at 11 p.m. So my bag flew to Savannah, Georgia. I did not. Thankfully, my good friend from school, Tate Sutton, lived only an hour in the area. So I called him at about 11:45 and said, can you please come pick me up? So he came and picked me up. I had to borrow clothes from him, had no suit for Sunday morning, nothing. And I thought, kind of like Marlon mentioned, that I'd walk into services that day and there's going to be Brother Mosier. And he's like, why are you in jeans? I was so scared that there'd be some instructor just visiting the area that would wonder why I'm dressed like that. It took forever to get my bag back. I had to fly my bag back through Atlanta, pick it up, and then hop on a flight home. And I get home. It's 11 p.m. at night the following Monday. And I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be the time where I get lucky. My bag will be the first one coming through. Nope. Took 45 minutes for my bag to come through. So I finally made it home at 12:30 and made it through. And that is the wonderful nature of flying Delta, who one person at this table recommended I fly because they don't cancel flights ever. And that is your fault, Jonathan. So if you hated the story here at the table, blame Jonathan.
It's okay. That's happened to me.
Actually,
Tokyo, Manila.
I've
I get those,
flown
though.
Delta a good bit. And I've actually never had a bad experience with it.
They've been bumping me to first class on all my flights lately. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
How many miles do you have?
A lot.
Okay, there you go. We're dealing with Savannah, Georgia.
That's
Platinum.
Okay, see, that's why.
We're dealing with Savannah,
only
Georgia,
silver.
which
Yeah.
is not really the biggest
Silver's
part
still
in
good.
Georgia.
It's okay.
because none of the flights through Memphis to Atlanta are canceled.
Look, Southwest is the way to go too.
Yeah.
Southwest is good.
Somebody said go Delta. They never cancel
Jewel's the
flights.
only one hanging with us now.
I think Jewel is the only one who's here because
Jewel,
Thank
you
you.
are
We've
a
kept
trooper.
most
I
of the
think Michael-
audience,
I think
so-
Michael has lulled everybody else to
yeah,
sleep.
it really started dropping when Michael started talking.
It stayed at
I
34. None of you have a story to tell.
I don't have any stories to tell because it's 8:47
Well, I mean, I think we should save them for later.
for the hoot and holler.
There you
I
go.
will say this: I flew on an airline. I won't say who they were, but I got on the airplane, went to sleep immediately. It was a 2.5-hour flight. Woke up and looked out after we had landed, and part of the wing was missing. The whole top of the skin of the wing was
Spirit?
gone. No, overseas. Not even going to go there. But I'm not. But it was completely missing when I woke up.
GE from New York. I don't know what that means.
I thought I figured that would have woken him up. I figured that would have woken him
So
up.
it took you that long to fall asleep because
McDonald's was almost halfway through the story being over.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it
it was
took him
like
that
3
long.
Yeah.
Should have been the first few
My
minutes.
guy. That's so funny.
Should have been asleep at. I'll
hilarious.
tell you the story about flying.
Look, you can't tell any more scary stories because Jewel's flying out.
No,
there,
Jewel,
so
you
we
will be
gotta- we gotta hype
fine.
her up. Flying's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All you can do is ride. That's it. You're just there.
You're actually more likely to get in a car accident than you are a plane
She does have to get to the airport.
crash. Sorry. Okay, we need to stop. Sorry.
Raise your hand at this table if you've listened to the summer content we've put out this summer.
I
Didn't.
actually have.
Oh, good for you.
Maybe.
I haven't listened to a lot of them. But,
Sorry you had to suffer through one more story.
So, I mean, I'll admit, I got just starting listening to it and then waking up when it's over. Does that
Oh, yeah.
count?
No, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Couple things I guess we're closing out. Trust me, we're about to finish up here.
I assure you.
Thank
will.
you
You
for
said-
this
by
has
the
been
way,
2 hours.
Hold on. Before we do this, someone at this table said 15 to 20 minutes. We'll talk about the network and then we'll be done. And it
Well, I
took
said
an
15
hour.
to 20. Yeah.
It took an hour. So
57 minutes.
we would be a little bit shorter.
It was.
Hey, but the next time we do this,
Yeah.
we don't
will
have
be,
to talk about it.
Exactly.
We'll be much further. We'll have separate.
It's a
intro
growing,
clips.
it's a learning curve.
We'll have
Yeah.
links to the videos and talk about all the platforms.
look at
and
We'll
for the
take care
two
of this.
people,
In other words,
Jewel
we'll be
and
prepared.
Bradley,
We've learned on the fly. I've made some notes.
for Jewel and Bradley who are here still, other than Bradley, who's going to get fired after this episode is done, they're doing great.
At least he knows where his boss is.
That is true.
At least he knows the chain of command.
See you in October.
All right, so we
Yeah,
want
Chase.
to we want to tease a couple of things that two things. Well,
Two things.
okay, 2 things.
They're kind of connected though.
Yeah, number one, excuse me. Number one is we've talked about doing, there's all this subscription based stuff. And a lot of times, if you pay for something, you get like extra content that you normally wouldn't get if you just want it for free. So obviously, we're not in the business of like making money off of this. We're not in the business of making somebody pay to hear the gospel either. So what we have considered doing is creating something called Scattered Abroad Network Plus, or SAN Plus. And essentially, we set up some kind of subscription fee. It's like, I don't know, $3 a month or $5 a month or whatever. And we put in all of our like shows, like what we're talking about doing, the Hoot and Holler podcast, or Did That Really Happen? Well, you guys have had access to that for a couple of years. Maybe next year, if you like it that much, then you would consider, helping us out support-wise, $5 a month or something like that. And we do that because as unfortunate as it is, running a network and podcasting, it takes equipment, it takes subscriptions, it takes hosting, all kinds of things, and all of that
Travel.
costs money, which is unfortunate as it is. And so we run off of support. We have congregations and individuals who are supporting us. And so if that is something that maybe you would consider doing, maybe let us know. We haven't quite figured out what we're going to do yet. But one of those things we talked about doing was throwing all of our like quote unquote secular content, just stuff that is not biblical, putting it on that.
It's not based around the Bible. Right.
I didn't mean it wasn't biblical as in like it was going to be unchristian, but it was not based around biblical things.
It's not a Bible program.
It's not a Bible program. There we go. But it's still a Christian program.
Right.
Clean Christian fun, I think is what you've called it before. Something like that.
Yeah.
So try to do something like that. Maybe we'll get there. I don't really know. Just again, we're always looking to make the network better, always trying to do more things, just to grow our network and make it as best as it can be. But one of the things that we have talked about doing one of the things that actually is already being done and currently in the production of being done is
Full screen
this,
that.
and I will
You gotta
let
full screen it.
I will.
Michael talk more about this.
We
screen.
are launching, as some of you are trying to zoom in to see what we're looking at. We are launching a new thing called the Scattered Abroad Studios. And
I can't make it do anything different. I'm
You can't
sorry.
make it big.
I'm locked out right here. This is it.
we are going to be having a documentary coming out in the next year or so. We've already shot a lot of it. We're currently in some reshoots trying to get the story and everything else put together. It's called Whatever Happened to Joe, and it will be the first documentary on the Scattered Abroad Network. We are really excited about this project. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because we'll have a trailer coming out in the next couple of months to 6 months, but we're working on reshoots right now and trying to get it ready because I don't know if you're like I am, but I devour documentaries lately. Anything that I can watch, I'm very interested in that. And the church, there's an untapped well in the documentary field because not many people are going about documentaries as far as part of their content. And I think sometimes hearing why people got to where they are in that point in life is very impactful and very helpful. So be looking for that new part of the network, Scattered Abroad Studios, SAS. And we will be launching that sometime within the next year.
Scott, appreciate that. Also, Jewel, I don't know if this is a question or if this is a statement or what, but I guess we could kind of talk about this just a little bit. I mentioned it briefly, but it does cost money to run a podcast. You can do it. I don't know how to explain this, but it does cost money. Equipment costs money. Everything you're seeing that we have, it all costs money. Our mixers cost money. Tables, mics, stands, headphones, computers to run it. Yes. Okay. So yes, we currently are in need of support. We've had enough to kind of get us through to this year, but we're always searching for more support. A lot of people have done one-time donations, and those have been good for things like PTP. PTP costs money to get a booth to get people there and such. So we are in need of support. So if you're looking to help support us, shoot us an email. Can you throw it on the screen?
I'm going to put that on.
The Scattered Abroad Network @gmail.com, and he is going to throw it up on the screen for us. You could just throw it on one of those typed things.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just pulling it so I copy and paste it.
Okay. Yeah. The Scattered Abroad Network @gmail.com. Just send us a message. If you want to just send us a message on Facebook, send a message on our Facebook page. We'll reply with it, or you can maybe write it down if you want to, if you have the opportunity to do that. But we would be certainly more than happy to share with you our budget, where our money goes. And we're very upfront with that. But it does unfortunately cost money. We have to pay for graphics, pay for website, pay for our hosting.
Lodging at events like polishing the pulpit.
Right, different stuff like that. So as unfortunate as it is, it does cost money to do things like this. And certainly, I mean, in podcasting, in the technological side of it, you can run stuff like this for hundreds of thousands of dollars. We are certainly not anywhere close to that at all whatsoever. We are on the very low end of it because certainly we want to make good use of the money, but we do want to put out a quality bit of content too. We don't want that to suffer as well either.
And nobody's taking any money on the network.
Right.
None of the
In
hosts
fact,
or directors.
All of us as hosts are actually putting some money into the network as well.
Yeah. Now, one thing too to also mention with that email that we put up just a moment ago, and Jonathan might put it back up here in just a second. There it is. If you have a highlights podcast idea or a person that you think would be really funny for Did That Really Happen, apparently funnier than I am, you can email us, and Josh Kennedy and Bradley Smith, if he still has a job, will gladly email you back. Be aware if Bradley has a profile picture attached to his email, you might want to cover your eyes before it gets sent through. So,
or anything about the network
Yeah.
in general, criticisms, how can we help, or how can you help? What can we do? What do you want to see on the network, kind of thing?
yes, because if we do launch Scattered Abroad Plus, SAM Plus, if we are going to do that, we need to be able to know what you like to see, because we've talked a little bit about Christian content is very few and far between. There are so many shows and so many different podcasts and other things that are about things that are not sinful in and of themselves, but the people who promote them and produce them and even host them are. And they make it very difficult to listen to a show about football or anything, movies, anything of the nature where you're going to have to worry about what you're going to hear. So if you have a program idea, we can't guarantee that we can do it. Somebody had an idea for a prank show. I love the concept of it. I don't know if we would ever be able to do that, but if you've got an idea for a show, we'll gladly consider it.
Got an
So
idea.
email us for that as well.
You have an idea? What is it?
A good prank for Michael. You and I'll get on it.
Oh, okay, okay.
We'll video it.
Scott said if we thought about an app.
The
yes,
last couple times you tried to prank me, that hasn't worked out in your
yes,
favor,
we
though.
have thought about an app. Apps are expensive
Insanely expensive.
and they take a lot of technological knowledge to do so. Eventually, we'd love to. I think that would be probably the best way to go. Tell everybody, download our app. And I'm talking.
Oh, now you know how I felt when I was telling my story. Yeah.
Well, I was with Bradley. I almost fell asleep at McDonald's.
It's not my fault that you don't know when to go to bed.
He's old, guys. Give him a break.
What was
We
it
are-
past your bedtime
Jonathan-
about 7 hours
Jonathan
ago?
has talked about an app before for his
Yeah.
stuff too. It's a lot. It's a lot of money, a lot of work.
We're talking 35K to get off the ground would be my
3,500? Oh, you said K. 35,000.
Yeah, I'm talking about if we go full production. If we do some other rounds, we can probably do it under 10.
Okay.
So I mean, it's
Just-
a big deal.
It's
It's
certainly a goal for us, something that we would wish to get to because that would make the most sense. Download our app under each section of the app.
have all the
Um,
podcasts there and have all
what-
the links.
Thanks, Brad. You
Kick
my-
him off.
Man,
Kick him off the thing.
You my guy.
You're gonna get fired. I mean, I don't know why you're testing this.
Starred.
I'm gonna
on
tell
that.
I'm gonna tell people to stop sending their manuscripts in for the Spiritual Sword Lectureship.
Mine's already in.
Mine's already in.
Mine is too, but I'll resend it. I'll resend it. I'll say give it back.
But definitely would love to see an app at some point. If you know somebody who can get us
That's
a
what we need.
discount
That's what we
or-
need. Somebody
we
who's
need-
in that field.
Right.
Yeah.
We need some people who know about that kind of stuff.
Also, if you
We'll
if
get
you
there.
have suggestions on how you can help improve the network and you're willing to actually maybe pitch in
Do it.
yourself, Josh
Yeah.
and Bradley, that's what they're doing for right now. If Bradley continues to insult me like this, it will be a new person that we're looking for. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He said that. It's what he says after that. He says sorry.
Sorry.
You know what repentance is, right? It's a change of mind
which leads
brought
to
about by a
of
change of
action.
action. So you're gonna have to stop. But they basically were approached as just helping us run the internet side of things with social media and producing, and they've been doing a great job overall. Josh more than Bradley currently. But if you have stuff and ideas that you can contribute and help us with, we would be happy to do that.
Absolutely.
We never thought we'd be where we are just shy under 2 years after we started. And who knows where we could be in 2 years if we continue to push forward.
Okay, so if y'all will stay in my RV, I will fund 12 fun episodes with a new set all by itself, and 12 serious episodes, and we can use my set.
There we go.
Okay.
So we can just build one.
Okay. Hey, yeah, let us know if you want. Obviously, this is very much a podcast network. That was the whole goal, the whole point. We've tapped into the video side with our joint podcast. And I don't think we want to do that, the video side with all of our podcasts.
No.
That's just not feasible.
It's insane.
And I think it kind of takes away from what the network is
It
in
does.
general. However, I think some of the bonus content or maybe just some special stuff we could do video side. I don't know if you all would like to see video or if podcasting is something that, podcasting is extremely popular because people are able to do it on the road,
Yep.
multitask videos. You can't really do that. But that is certainly a side that we are probably going to tap into a little bit more as we go forward.
Yeah.
Especially with if we do SAN plus, kind of stuff. We'll see how that goes. But well, I don't know. We have 2 people left, 5
30.
people left,
30
30 people left. Man,
for
God.
1 hour, 57 minutes, and 36 seconds.
Wow, you guys are
Let's
rock
milk
stars.
that last 2 minutes.
You guys are rock
And let's-
stars.
Let's get it
Oh.
to be an even 2.
It went off an hour ago. I'm sorry.
You guys are rock stars. Well, thank you so much for being with us for this special edition live podcast. It's not. It is a podcast. It's just going.
Yeah.
It'll be live,
Yeah.
or it'll be a podcast episode. We'll upload this on our master feed. So if you want to go back and listen to all this again, I don't really know why you would. But if you want to go back and listen to it again, go to our master feed.
My story was riveting.
Guys, if you want to go
Riveting.
see that, then certainly do that. But please go to our website.
It was idiosyncratic.
Idiosyncratic.
Spell
Let's
it.
do again.
I can spell it.
Oh, can you?
IT.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Go to our website, scatteredabroad.org, as it's on our screen there. You can find all of our information there. If you have anything that you want to tell us, definitely reach out to us, the Scattered Abroad Network at gmail.com. You can find all of our podcasts on all major podcast platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon. Everywhere that you want to go, we're going to be there. So please do that. Also, and we haven't really said this much as of late, but if you can, on those platforms that you go listen to our podcast, please leave us a rating or review. That certainly helps us move up the chain or move in that. You three are hilarious. Bradley,
Sorry, Derek.
would you? The one who barely said anything.
I think we know who he's talking about.
Derek.
we
We don't even know if you're here.
all know. We all
Definitely leave us a rating or review if you can. That certainly helps us move up on the chat. I can't get anything done with these two fools next to me.
Next time Derek sits next to me.
100%.
I tried earlier, but you.
I wasn't against that. I just said, do you really want Jonathan and Caleb next to each other? Because I thought that would be worse. Because y'all work together and you had a history
I'm not sure.
of not being
Good
able
point.
to finish.
Oh, no,
Good point.
we'd be
Um,
all in.
We would have been fine.
Perfect.
Yeah,
right. But again, we're grateful for all of you listening. Please continue to keep our network in your prayers as we try to glorify God in everything that we do and as we try to continue to grow. Certainly, we're excited for what we've been able to do, but we have big plans, things we want to accomplish as we go forward. Again, if you're going to be polishing the pulpit in just a couple of weeks, come by our booth, say hello, try to catch us recording. If you can be there Thursday, 10 a.m., SEC Food Court. Jonathan, where are we at?
SEC Food Court.
Okay. Then we will be there.
Paying attention
Come
to
in, check us out.
Say it louder
we'd
for
lo-
the people in the back.
We we'd love we would love to have y'all to meet you guys, put faces to names.
We
Names
gained
that
two
we've
people.
seen.
We can't stop now.
We got to keep
We
going.
gained two
No.
people.
But again, we're so thankful for everybody here. Do you want to close us out?
Yeah, I'll say this. The whole purpose of this podcast that we do on Did That Really Happen is it's okay to laugh. It is okay to have fun. Some do it better than others. Sorry, Bradley. But it's okay to laugh. It's okay to have fun. And every now and then you need that. You need a friend. Oh my. You're just spinning the head around. You need to have an opportunity with everything going on in the world to just stop for a moment.
Wow.
It was meant to be.
It was
Stop
meant to
for
be.
a moment and laugh. So if you've asked yourself tonight, as Jewel and others did that really happen? The answer is yes, or we will not see you in eternity. So yes, they all really happened. So we are thankful that you stayed with us, those 32 of you, and the others that had to kind of trickle in and out.
We had
throughout the
70 or
2
80
hours.
earlier. 70 or 80.
bad.
So we really are appreciative that you are here.
Lima,
And-
my guy.
Lima,
What
he's
time?
just waking up.
Yeah, it's like 6 o'clock in the
6 a.m.
morning in Hawaii.
All right, Lima, we'll start over for you. Everybody else, you can hop off. But
Oh,
thanks
man.
so much for being with us. And until the next episode,
Jonathan, Derek, thanks so much. They got to drive back.
Thank you,
Pray,
guys.
keep them in
Yeah.
your prayers tonight. They've got to drive all the way back to David. Get multitasking. See, that's why we do podcasting, because you can do multiple things
Yep.
at the same time. When you do videos, not knocking videos are great, but a lot of times it takes your attention and you cannot.
You could be locked in.
Yeah, you can't get other things done. So podcasting is great for that. But again, thanks so much. Appreciate you guys, and we will see y'all whenever we see y'all next time. Thank you guys.
see you later.